STFC like it's free. Ghost grape juice in hand, it's a secret fuel. Spreading flowers round town, ain't no fool. Talking track on the air, feel the fire. Griffin's got the game, taking it higher. Sponsors backing him, yeah, he's the king. Ghost grape juice and flowers on the wing. Bright lights, the stage, Griffin's in control. Games and giveaways, that's his main goal. Living large in the live stream glow. 1-800-Flowers, making hearts grow. Talking Trek on the air, feel the fire. Griffin's got the game, taking it higher. Sponsors backing him, yeah, he's the king. Ghost grape juice and flowers on the wing.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the show. Thank you very much for being here. What's going on? Talking Trek is live.
STFC battles every night and day. Griffin's got a plan, no other way. Listeners tune in, they can't get enough. With Griffin on the grind, it ain't that tough.
All right, let's hit it up with a Talking Trek server sound off in the chat. You guys go ahead and go crazy. And let me see who is hanging out here tonight in the chat. Wait, this is not bad. I like it. They don't like it, Griffin. Oh my God, it's huge. Good evening, everybody. Gray Sabers on server 29, Ben of the Robot on 51, Newton on 702, Mini Shamu on 13, Rico on 55, Trash Keeper on 53, Robotsky on 74, Jondrel on 32, Loki on 15, Daystros on 32, Kirok on 61, and Dominus Prime on server 53, Dr. Iron Chef on server 14, thank you, and Delisha on 701, Carillius on 13, Striker on 49. Now, Jondrel, you want to know what's crazy? You want to know what's crazy? I know that you feel like AI-generated music is abominable. I know you feel like that. Would it interest you to know that that was actually studio generated, that we actually have singers who perform some of our tracks for us? As a matter of fact, I've got a new one tonight. Good evening, everybody, by the way. Welcome into the show. How are you? Welcome. Yeah. Trash Keeper says, I missed the old, and Dominus Prime said, I missed the old server sound off music. Yeah, I honestly, I was going to play it, but then I realized that I hadn't yet actually played this one for Griffin on the show. I've had it for like a month, and I haven't played it yet. That was
nothing short of gratuitous and not asked for at any time.
He actually complained, so he did get that. Because he complained that the last one didn't have his name in it. So
I only had I was in there one mention, like in the fourth verse or something.
Fair.
Like
That's
after
fair.
we're off the air.
So Nigel went back to the studio and made it work. Good evening, Tarpy. How are you? Welcome to the stage. Welcome all of you live in the studio audience. Talking Trek is on the air. Sorry I missed you guys yesterday. Appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. On what will be a makeup show, a little bit abbreviated. We're going to try not to be here until 3 o'clock in the morning tonight, but there are a few things to talk about. So a couple of thank yous. Yes, Nigel. Nigel told me today, Griffin, because he sent me another one. He sent me a new one, and I'm like, jingle singers are expensive. Like they really are.
They are.
They're very expensive.
You really got to know it.
What's that?
They said you got to know a guy, or else you're paying out the nose.
Oh yeah. They're very, very expensive. And I sent him a message. I'm like, so where do these things come from? Like, how do you do this? How do you get people to sing these? I wrote jingles are expensive. I used to buy jingle packages for radio stations, and he says, you don't know who I am. I was like, oh damn, all right. He's throwing it down. All right, just like that. He says, but people like for me to do them favors, so they owe me favors first. Okay. There you go. By the way, I have also learned that since our arrival back in the United States, that Nigel has also booked on Star Trek The Cruise 9. Yes, he has.
Oh, that's great.
That is great. Yeah, absolutely. So he's going to be there as well. But yeah, so he says that that he works with an absolute legend of a score composer, absolute legend. So he says, listen, we're trying to come up with some stuff and we're just doodling. He's like, most of these are doodles. And then I've got people in the studio, we'll sing a couple of doodles and then we try to put together, something that we're looking to try to do. These are actual singers. I've got another one. Jules Verne has one. Let me see if I can find this for you real quick. Should we just wait until Jules shows up? Jules is going to be here on Thursday to do a very special.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he's doing a very special teaching episode on Thursday. I believe him and Tarpy. Tarpy, is that right? You guys have something big planned on Thursday, from what I understand.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I believe so. I got a message about it tonight, somewhat cryptic, and he says, "Listen, Tarpy and I have the show Thursday. Don't worry about planning anything." I'm like, never do. So that's that's coming up Thursday, straight out of the Talking Trek Laboratory. Tarpy and Jules will be leading your show on Thursday, so pretty excited about that. But yeah, no, these are actual. Now, John Droll, I mean, not all of them are going to be hits, obviously. Some of them are just doodles. But listen, this one was great. This one here, this one might be my favorite. Yeah, this one hits hard.
Floating in a galaxy unknown, staying bold, talking treks, the podcast tune and
So anyway, yeah, no, they're real crazy. They're real. All right, what? You don't like that one either? So you just don't appreciate good, solid studio composition, my friend. Because that's what that is. All right, a couple of thank yous very quickly, and then we'll get into our content for tonight. Appreciate that. Broken Wolf, thank you. 8 months on the Tier 1. Sin of the Dark says, what's up, DJs? Welcome back. 25 months on the Tier 1 sub. Thank you very much. Alligator Loki, 30 months. Cruzito, 35 months. Thank you. Here we go. Good evening. You too, Griffin, I guess. Thank you, Cruzito. Appreciate that very much. Mortman on the 22 months. Iron Chef, 100 kitty bitties. Thank you, Striker, 14 months. And Dominus Prime and Jongo throwing down some kitty bitties as well. Thank you. Worf on the 6-month resub. Freelancer and Engineer and Andalisha and Papa Smurf throwing down some more kitty bitties. Silver Tab, Dallas Spartan on the resubs. Thank you. Grungandola, Freelancer, Hercules, Balabom, Spock, Q of 22. Thank you guys for the resubs. You guys are incredible. Piano Man, thank you for the 16-month resub. Did I get Peter Hollins to sing that? I don't know their names. Nigel takes care of it for me, but he actually has live studio singers that work for him. So I don't understand. I mean, they must not be doing anything productive. I assume that they can't be working on anything super important for that to come out. Griffin, the chat is concerned about you. Are you okay? Did you make a mistake?
Yes, I've made a horrible mistake.
Did you buy the wrong pack?
No, I've entered an arena, and on the other side of the arena is freaking Irish Jack.
Oh, we got to whale cam this. Sorry.
No, it's not good. No whale cam.
Well, cam it up. Listen, I know that we're in podcast, so I'm going to do my best to narrate for you, chat. All right, if you don't care, get that up, Griffin, and we'll show that off a little bit for Irish Jack to come in here and do a little bit of mopping of the floor with you. Yeah, I see. Griffin, Maple Butter, and Grungandola are in a squad. What's going on, guys? All three members of our community. So was that a public squad? You guys just got randomly matched up?
Yeah, we sure did.
Wow. All three of you guys from our community. That's amazing. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get Whalecam pulled up. Are you ready? Here's the thing, party. Why don't Griffin and DJs team up for public squads? That's actually something we're going to talk about tonight. I would like for that to be next on the to-do list, to be perfectly honest with you. Sadly, it is not currently available. You want to know why? because you cannot search for players. You can't form your own squads. It is kind of just a random thing at this point. All right, we're still trying to get Griffin back. He broke something. We'll get him back here in just a second.
Hold on.
Which you're in.
Well, yeah, if you see one, right? If you see one that's up, you can do that. But I mean, if you're just searching for people, like if I look right now, I see. Okay, so you're saying if you join one, like, or if you create one, then you could have other people looking out for you, right? Had they, and there is the capability of kicking people out, right? So you could kick people out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess in a manner of speaking, you could. Now, but here's the thing. I don't feel like this would be here. I'm going to turn on my game screen. I can't imagine that these are the only people playing. I am showing 3 public squads. Okay, that's it. That's all I get to see. Why is that working that way? Sorry. This is all I get to see. So I can't imagine that this is all that's available. And if it is, then yikes. Okay? Yikes. Right?
That's not all that's available for sure. I'm telling you, I am getting like immediately dropped into squads. I'm having no delay. I am immediately playing.
Well, that's fantastic. We and I can't even refresh again for another 15 seconds. Now, it is a cross server. There was some surprise at that. People were kind of excited about the fact that this is not just public squad on your server, but it's also cross server. So anybody within your region will have an opportunity to be able to play. Do you have the whale cam up yet? Nope, still no whale cam.
No, I don't have the whale cam up. Irish Jack has 54 billion points on his ships. I'm getting annihilated.
We want to see it. I mean, come on.
No, it doesn't work. I tried, and look what's going to happen. You're not going to hear me. Watch. Ready?
That's fine. You do that part, and I'll narrate your map. So now we don't have audio or your screen. Yeah, no screen, no whale cam, lost him.
Can't do it.
Yeah,
doesn't work.
How did you break the whale cam, bro?
I don't know.
He goes on one silly little cruise and he comes back.
Repair instead of instant repair. Oh, my cube is gone for 2 minutes. Not that it does any good anyway. Oh, this is bad. Jag is killing us. It's 71 to 465. This is dogs and cats living together.
I would love to be able to see it. I mean, what is happening?
I'll try one more time. Hold on. I'll go to the entire screen. Maybe this will work. Maybe this will work.
Can you just go pull it up on your tablet and hold it up to the pergola cam? No, I don't hear you, which is good, I guess. That means we should be able to see your screen, but we don't have that either. So there's no audio and there's no screen.
Well, you'll have to blame Twitch for that one.
I'm not blaming Twitch for that. You broke it.
Chrome tab and window, Star Trek Fleet Command, share.
Oh, there it is. There it is. And we've got audio. Okay, so here we go.
Look, he's just waiting for me. He's waiting for me on the right side of the screen.
Well, it looks like he's stung. He's stung, so you could just go in there.
He's actively bullying. Oh, that doesn't mean anything. So what?
Yeah,
He's
look,
stung.
it's just a little scimitar. It's not a big deal. Yeah, look at that.
What am I going to do with that scimitar? Look what happens.
Hit it. Smash that scimitar.
Nothing happens.
It's a tier 12 scimitar. Yep, there you go. Shout out, IJ. What's going on, brother?
This is like watching paint dry.
Represent server 15. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Maple Butter says we cooked or got cooked. Are you getting cooked right now? I believe you might be getting cooked.
Look, he's coming after me again. He's actively chasing me.
Well, yeah, as he should be. All right, this is a PvP event, my good man.
I clicked on that red.
Lag strikes again. Lag strikes again. You got lagged out, and then he blew up your ships.
I hate that song even more than the Al Griffin one.
Oh, that's good stuff. For those of you in podcast, what we're watching right now is just an absolute brutal annihilation. All right. Sadly, what we are seeing here is we are still seeing some lag. Shockingly. All right, a little bit of lag there. What's going on? Thamal says, "Man, I just finished Voyager. I'm so sad. Oh, don't be sad. Are you sad that it's over? Is that what it is? Are you sad that it's over? Because I can get that. They should have gone one more season, I feel like. They should have gone one more season.
Are you
crammed too
sad
much.
because you wish that the Year of Hell 2-parter was really a 3-parter? Well, fear not and rejoice, because it is in fact a 3-part confirmed series, and you can go back and watch it again. That just took the wind out of my sails. That Irish Jack, he laid the smack down on my candy ass.
I guess you
really
just
did.
need to buy more packs. Yeah, just
I got to buy more packs, so I need to hydrate. I'm very thirsty now.
Oh, yes. Well, in order to buy more packs, you're going to need to cash your next sponsorship check. And just in case anybody was curious as to who that might come from, Griffin, as we get ready to break into our STFC content tonight, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors.
Well, it's definitely not Gatorade, because I would have had Gatorade when I was 8 years old playing Alex Kidd in Miracle World, or maybe The Legend of Zelda. It's definitely not Prime.
No,
because
it's not.
Prime, as pointed out to me, is made out of piss water. So that's definitely on the table.
And
you don't know what's in some of these drinks, but I do know that Welch's Ghost Grape Energy has ingredients that fuel legends, UltimatDJz. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
Are you tired of energy drinks packed with sugar and mystery ingredients?
Why,
it's time to level up those energy.
Yes.
0 sugar, 0 artificial colors, full transparency, because you deserve to know what fuels your solo wave defense grind.
Yeah.
Including alpha GPC and neurofactor, brain boosting nootropics that sharpen focus to keep you locked in.
Yeah.
200 milligrams of natural caffeine from coffee beans. Clean energy with no jitters and no crash, unless it's your ship against Irish Jack. Carnipure L-carnitine supports fat metabolism and endurance for peak performance. And of course, electrolytes. Stay hydrated, power up, whether at the gym, you're at work, or commanding your fleet late into the night. Real ingredients, real results, no BS. Grab a can of Ghost Energy and unleash your inner ghost. Available at gnc.com/buy one get front. And now you can even head over to ghostlifestyle.com, where you can open your own Legends account. DJ, earn free swag. Just use my referral code NHMU0MGUTPJ _ NHMU0MGUTPJ _
Oh my God.
Today.
Oh my goodness gracious. Does it actually include any grapes? Would be the question. And oh God, that is ridiculous. Yeah.
I worked very hard on memorizing that spot. I hope you're proud of me.
You did a very, very good job. John Droll, good evening. Thank you for the Prime resub. Crash Override, 31 months. General Darkfire, 27 months. Mechrack, 35 months. Thank you guys. Very, very much. I appreciate that. All right. And now that is out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the show.
Did everybody get that?
Oh my God. You know, I am actually sad. Your audio sounds like complete crap tonight.
Well, because you were 27 minutes late to the studio. I told you I needed help getting these settings reconfigured.
It's not that. I feel like this actually might be a Twitch thing, because like your audio's in and out. It's very digitally in and out. Yeah. Thank you, Griffin. That's by the way, that's an actual real promo code. I'm throwing it out there. So anyway, Maple Butter says he sounds fine. It might just be on my end.
Do I sound fine? You know what's happening is I hear my delay. Yeah, I hear me getting into your ears a second late, like always, but it does sound more garbled.
Yeah,
I hope that
you're ducking,
because you know, if that was in any way inaudible, I have memorized that spot. I can give it all to you again later. No problem.
Does this sound a little bit better? Maybe, perhaps.
Check 1 2.
1 2. No, he's still ducking. Still ducking, which is weird.
I think that was when you talk and then I duck. I can go over to Discord voice if you prefer me to be there. I don't care.
I don't know. We'll see. If you would like, we'll try that.
I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to enjoy my ghost energy and hydrate.
Okay. Is the sound impacted by the 200 milligrams of caffeine? Probably. All right.
It is not. But maybe if you have more Carnipure L-carnitine in your life, you would not only support your fat metabolism burn, but you'd also have better hearing.
Carissa says Twitch has definitely changed something. Every stream I've visited within the last few days are all having audio issues. Well, that's unfortunate because for us, it's on the stream together part of it. My audio seems fine. I think my audio that's going out is probably fine, but it's the stream together part of this. Dave Hart says jokes on Griffin. They use green grapes in the energy drink, so that's the real reason he's green. Oh, they got you, buddy. They got you right there. All right,
it's clear. No artificial colors. Secretary Kennedy would be very proud. No red number 3. No nothing.
Yeah. Why is it in a purple can though? If they're using green grapes, just throwing that out.
Well, the leaf is green. I mean, that's part of that.
I got it. Andy says, did I ever fix the jacket giveaway? I have an open ticket right now. They are.
Oh, I can't believe I sat next to you during that fiasco. That still hasn't been resolved.
No.
We just have 300 names in the ether that we can't pull back out and
500 names that I can't pull out of the ether. So I'm working on that.
We will definitely get the t-shirt thing done.
Yeah, no, this one's for the Hero Within jacket, so I understand why people are on it. But anyway, people want it to happen, and it will. I've got, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, we're gonna do it. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the show. My name is UltimatDJz. Welcoming Griffin back since he hasn't been on since the cruise. I was telling everybody about your lobster seafood tower for Ms. Griffin's birthday party. That was that was a ridiculous lobster tail tower of oysters and shrimp, dude. That was kind of crazy.
You should have seen the Australian lobster tail that her mother ordered for dinner. That thing was easily the size of my head.
Oh yeah,
gigantic, filleted open. It had to have been 20 ounces.
Good Lord. An Australian lobster tail, 20 ounces. I bet that was
on top of the nickel and nickel Chardonnay she ordered.
The nickel and nickel? So it was like 10 cents. Okay. Cool.
No.
Caledon says, if I ever get you to the Northeast, there's a place that actually has lobster on the buffet. That sounds great. I like lobster.
Is it? I like Cousin's Maine lobster. I wonder if that's what he's talking about.
I don't know if it's Australian lobster or not. Anyway, hey, a pack a week giveaway until it's fixed. Where's our comp? Listen, I'll get back to you on that. Okay? Working on it. Listen, Arenas is today, obviously. We've got some stuff to talk about with Arenas. Today is the first launch of public squads. All right? And with it came one or two surprises and an idea or two about how we should continue on down this path of reiteration. When we were looking at the Arenas, the public squads seem to be pretty nice. They seem to be working well. There is even potentially the possibility that you can kind of join up. I keep hitting the refresh here, trying to see if I can recognize a name that might be up here on the list. Now, I'm getting a lot of retrieving, but that could just be because, I'm using a lot of internet. Peter says
Stradalurian was looking for a group. There were 2 people in his.
So I don't see Stradalurian right now, but it also could probably have a little bit of information about or a little bit of reasoning to do with the matchmaking. I actually pushed Op 66 this weekend and built a Velox. How do you guys say that? I built the Romulan G6 Rare, to which my admiral then shunned me and said, you picked the wrong one. I thought Romulan was always the way to go. Oh, that's what I thought. He tells me that the Velox is not very good. Well, too late. I'm like 300 billion rep in, so I'm going to have to do that. Daystra says, not this time. Well, it is what I'm going to have to live with until 500 billion rep. All right? Because I am not going back and starting over. Can't do it. Zoidberg says, I built a Crenshaw this weekend. That is the Klingon ship. Very, very nice. Is it a decent tier? Is it a baby? No, it's tier 5, but I still think it's a baby tier. I need to get it to like 9. I need 9 but I ran out of parts and materials and all that stuff. So Benny Hill says we do need a clearer picture on G6 ships, and that is probably something that we'll be able to do here in the next couple of weeks. We'll mention that to Jules and actually maybe do an analytical comparison of the G6 rares between all three, because it is a different environment. And I got to be honest with you, there are a lot of people within our community that are early G6 or kind of coming up onto that realm of G6 rare. So definitely something that we should be probably looking at here soon. As a matter of fact, I do know also that Jules and Tarpey are putting together a new refresh guide on the Revenant. All right, for those of you who are unlocking that this week. Yo, what's up, Rev Deuce? Going on, man? Rev Deuce with the big old stinky raid. Thank you, man. How are you, dude? By the way, Rev, are you in the chat? Did you hear or did you get to see the clip when we were on the cruise? There was a guy there wearing your merch, and it looked amazing. We put him on the stream. It turned into a really, really funny bit. He was wearing your shirt with all the packs on it. And so then Griffin starts going through. He's like, bought that one, bought that one, bought that one, bought that one. It was great. The guy there was repping your merch, and it looked really good. It looked really
a memory lane for me.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
It was a really, really good looking shirt, like actually in print. It was fantastic. So yeah, that was awesome. Stay on topic. You shut up, Dragon Keeper.
He's so grumpy today.
Who, me? I am grumpy.
Dragon Keeper.
Oh, Dragon. I was going to say.
You're grumpy too.
I am a little bit grumpy as well. So, anywho.
I was just trying to tell the story about my girlfriend's extravagant birthday party, and he shushed me. He said, shush.
Yeah,
talk about
Dragon. He says
like
he's sleepy.
watching me get my ass kicked by IJ was not fun enough for you for 8 minutes straight.
Baconfish says, how dare you, Trash Keeper? How dare you claim that there's even a topic? All right, that's fine.
Right? What are you thinking?
Meanwhile says, heard the cruise was trash. Yeah, Trash Keeper, that's just how he's justifying the fact that he didn't get to go. All right. Andy says, wait a second,
He's still
DJs.
mad about the open
Back
bar.
up a little bit. What rare 66 should we get? Well, according to the chat, it looks like the Klingon ships are the amazing ones. But either way, I built the Romulan one because, I kind of messed up. And or maybe I didn't mess up. Maybe I was just doing it so that we can do some actual analytical comparisons for you guys and show you why the Velox is not trash. All right. Andy says I'm going Velox too. I just like the Romulan. I like the Romulan faction. I've always been Romulan. I've always been Romulan. Meanwhile says, are we recording the podcast? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And that is where we were starting to kind of hone in on content. We were talking about what were we talking about? Oh, the arenas, the public squads. So it came with a couple of surprises. All right. For example, they never really said that. They said that when they were going to do public squads, they were talking about on your server. All right. What ended up happening was they opened it up to your entire region, which is actually kind of cool. All right. That is actually very, very cool. And will give you an opportunity to try to play with other people. I think that's actually very, very cool. The fact that if we timed it right, then Griffin and I could put together an opportunity to play together in a squad, which is something that I've been very, very vocal for, is being able to play cross-server with your friends. That's why, I was such a fan of Incursions when it started. And then, of course, now with arenas at least being matched up against other players is fun, but now actually being able to team up with them, that's kind of cool. Cruzito says, so now we'll have randoms from other servers with no way to chat at all. Well, this is the warning that Griffin gave. Cruzito,
yep.
This is the warning that Griffin gave, was that the experience was going to suffer because you weren't going to be able to chat, okay? Therein, though, I feel like Scopely might have pivoted at the very, very end there and opened this up to uh, region instead of just your server, because at least now you've got an opportunity to try and form your own squad, in which case you would be able to form with people who are in Discord and be able to form in a voice chat or something like that. You could totally try to do that now. However, if you're trying to chat, that's going to be rough. Listen, I never felt like chatting, even in the original one, was the way to go because you're too busy playing. You don't have time to chat. You're playing. All right? You could use private messages, the DMs, but again, that's kind of wonky. Probably not necessarily the best use of your time inside an arena. All right? But there are arena matchup discords that you could do, DMs. And listen, if I am right now sitting here for a couple of minutes looking for an opportunity to get joined up with somebody. If I'm saying, Griffin, let's try this. All right, let's just try this. I actually just hit refresh, but why don't you go in and here's what I'm going to do. I am going to create a squad myself. All right, I am, and look at this. I have an option as the leader. I can form one of two types of squads. I can do an alliance-only squad, restricting membership to my own team, keeping my team exclusive. Or I can open the membership to other alliances, which can help fill my squad faster. I am going to create a public squad. I am now an Ops 66. Okay? Now, Chala says, but the plan, this could be a challenging thing for a plan. Well, not necessarily if you're looking to see who is going to play with you. Look here. I have an opportunity to look here. Canine Tooth just joined mine, and I'm going to boot the other random that just came in. Okay? So, Griffin, do a refresh. Now I'm going to have to...
I'm in the middle of one right now.
Oh, you're playing one. Okay. Voltron says share. I'll pull it up on screen for you. For those of you in the podcast, I've gotten matched up with Canine Tooth, who is a level 70. And look, there's Dr. Iron Chef. What's going on?
Oh, look at that.
So we've got Canine Tooth, myself, and Iron Chef, which could be a really fun thing. Okay? This could actually be a really, really fun thing.
A virtual who's who in the zoo right here.
Absolutely. This could be great. All right. So I feel like this was a positive side effect. And Cruzito, I would actually come back and argue that this may have potentially been on Scopely's radar when Griffin was very, very public about, man, experience. The experience is going to suffer. You're not going to be able to communicate. You're not going to be able to talk. You're not going to be able to have fun. This, I feel, was probably a pivot. When they first told us that they were doing it, Griffin, they said that this was going to be on your server. Well, this now allows you the better flexibility of being able to play with who you want to play with. Not only that, but it is going to expand the number of possibilities for matching a squad, since they have now limited the ops to 4 up and 4 down, which would have made it more challenging for people to find squads. I would imagine that Canine Tooth, coming back to my screen here, I would imagine that Canine Tooth literally cannot play in his alliance. I'm sure he can't. Okay. Riskbreaker says, we've actually had alliance mates playing against each other in public squads. I think that's crazy cool. All right, now Canine Tooth, Iron Chef, I hope you guys are ready to actually play one, because I'm not, I wasn't going to actually play one, but yeah, why not take the free win with Canine Tooth in here? All right, why not take the free win with Canine Tooth in here? We'll see what happens, all right? Can they do it without me playing? We'll see. But this, I feel, Cruzito, was a cool addition to arenas here, which is giving you the possibility of still maintaining good communication and allowing for your big players to still have many opportunities to get in and be able to enjoy the feature. As a matter of fact, I would argue, Griffin, that outside of the Monday 8-hour time frame, this might be the best opportunity that they have had in allowing people to play.
I'm telling you, I'm able to form a squad and get going in less than a minute. It's been an hour now, and I've been doing it boom, boom, boom. I'm waiting for nothing. I'm seeing people who I know, which is, maybe good, maybe bad. It probably speaks to how many people are actually trying to play arenas today, to your point. But if it keeps going like this and the lag is not as bad as it was like a month ago, this is definitely a step in a really, really positive direction here.
Well, I am, if you guys would like, and I hate to do this because of podcast audience, but I don't mind to actually play one round if you guys would like to watch it. I am not going to necessarily try to like super actively play here. Okay, I'm just going to see it. Yeah, look at my little baby tier 5 Velux. I just built it yesterday. Give me a break, man. I just built it yesterday. I'm not even going to fly it in arenas because it'll still get owned by G5 Epics. Kaviji, it'll still get owned. I actually lost. I went and tried to kill somebody who was on a maxed Enterprise D, and I got beaten. And I had a PvP crew on. So it's not ready for combat just yet. All right, it's not ready for combat just yet. But I am glad that I've got it and have started the journey towards the next 9 tiers of my cube. See, I skipped the G5 uncommon, getting it to tier 9. So when I get, because what is it? Is it 6 tiers of the cube or 9 that I'm going to get when I get to tier 9? It'll probably be another 6 tiers. 6 tiers of the cube. So I'm looking forward to doing that. When I can get this thing to tier 9, then I'll be able to get another 6 tiers on my cube, which will be very, very fun. That'll be a great thing to be able to do. So here, I'll try to narrate this for you guys if you want. Oh, we've already started. So I'm late already. I'll try to narrate this for you. We are 1 minute and 20 seconds in. And we have, a couple of things that I'm observing here. All right, Canine Tooth is purple for me, which is good to see. That means I'm not going to get confused. That was something that people were curious about, is that I'm not going to get confused and maybe end up doing some friendly fire, right? That's not going to happen because Canine Tooth and Iron Chef are both purple for me. So that is good news. All right. We see Canine Tooth as an Ops 70 going head-to-head with Sniper, who is also an Ops 70, but we've got, he was boosted. He was fortified. Yikes. That was a fortification right there, and Canine Tooth goes down. Canine Tooth goes down, and they have both of the groups started in the middle. This could end up being a very, very fast match right here, as they are less than 30 seconds away from 600 points off of the group armadas in the middle. Durr says it is already over. Well, yeah, if Canine Tooth doesn't get in there. Oh no! Nope. I just got, yeah. And my speed. Oh, I forgot speed. There's no speed. Daggone it.
No speed.
There's no speed. I loaded a speed crew on my speed ship. I loaded a speed crew on my speed ship, and I'm wondering why it's going so daggone slow. Yeah. So, here's the next thing. Now, I would be curious to see how this looks from another standpoint because I don't see any bad lag or tracking at this particular point, okay? I don't see it yet. It's not to say that it can't be there, but so far, everybody looks like they are where they are supposed to be. I don't see any drift. Well, never mind. Iron Chef is literally drifting in his cube as we speak. Looky right here. So he has started a group. He was drifting out of his circle. He is in his circle, but Primarch just came and blew him up and probably didn't have any idea where he is. Here's the thing. You've got to... I appreciate the structural change in these arenas, all right? You have effectively solved the problem with players not being able to find other players that they can play with as far as a squad. That problem is fixed, okay? What you need to do now is you've got to get hard at work on this cube tracking thing. You have to get on this cube tracking thing. That does not look any better. I don't see as much lag, which is an improvement, all right? But the cube tracking thing continues to be a problem. And until that is fixed, and I hate to say this because I never wanted to be the one that said it, the cube has to be banned until it's fixed. It has to be. That's the only other way that you can make this a playable, enjoyable feature is to take the cube out and let everybody participate on the same level of bugginess. At least then they would be able to see ships. You can't take the cube and it's not even playable. All right.
And
it's not playable.
there is a indicator that something like that may be going on around here. If you look at the new feature this month, which is the solo waves, DJs, what have they done to the cube and the solo waves that we never thought we'd see? That is in fact the case with the solo wave.
They've disabled the cutting beam in solo waves, which I didn't expect to see. I have not enjoyed that. I would like, not that, I mean, here's the thing. Those things have hull for days anyway. So it's not like a cutting beam is going to cut through them, to be perfectly honest with you. That being said, the cube, to disable the cube cutting beam is not going to dissuade it from being used in arenas. Okay? It's not going to dissuade it from being used in arenas because it's still a fast ship and it's still very, very, it's still a very, very powerful combat ship. All right? I don't want it to be, but here's the problem. Last time I said I want to do this to test some stuff, they felt like that was a fix. And I'm still railing against that today. Okay? They've got to put impulse back. They now just need to remove the cube. All right? And by the way, I do know that other ships can drift and that other ships can lose their sync. I totally get that, Lexel. But it doesn't feel like it's as bad as the cube, which, by the way, is why I simply want to test it. Okay? So let's put the impulse back and let's take the cube out. I just want to continue reiterating on the test. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what impulse does if you remove the cube. All right? And let's just see if it's better or worse. All right? And by the way, that should be another test. It should be a test run with a compensation chest for participants. It should be, by the way, I agree, something that doesn't hurt your rank. Okay? That's right. Divine says the cube breaks in normal gameplay. Kind of my point. So let's roll that back and try to put impulse back. Cruzito said it's not just the cube. It's literally all specialty ships, especially high impulse. But you know what, Cruzito? I would agree with you with one exception. I have never seen drift on my protector. It's the fastest ship I've got.
Yay, bugs.
Hey, Dave, thanks. I have never seen drift on my protector, or at least not that I remember. That might be a lie. I think I remember seeing it one night. I do think I remember seeing it one night. But one night, one time. That would be the next test that I want to try. But I don't want it to be a fix. Like, I just want to point them in a direction where we can see what it is that needs to be done. And capping impulse at 275 is not the answer. I repeat, it is not the flipping answer. It has to come back.
That you like, but that doesn't mean that that's not ultimately going to be the answer that keeps arenas in the game versus scrapped.
Dude, speed was the one thing that players had to be able to combat players like Canine Tooth or Irish Jack. Speed.
Then fix that problem. Look at another workaround for that. Look at another a play field leveler for arenas rather than something that is just killing the ping time on this feature. You are playing a round with somebody who is literally 6,000 miles away from you and across an ocean, and you expect it to work in real time. I got to tell you, that's just not going to be the case.
I hear what you're saying, but look at what we just did. All right, these are 6 players from anywhere on the continent that just played on the same team and did not have lag issues like we did when we were playing within our own alliance.
Oh my God. Hello, McFly. Why do you think that might be?
I you're suggesting that
Because the impulse is limited.
I am not going to assume that. I want to see data. I want to see another test.
For what it's worth, I just did 7 arenas with one of my teammates, and he started his account in New York City, but he currently plays in Singapore.
Yeah.
We had no lag.
Well, now
We had
listen.
no problems.
Here's the deal. Everyone is going to come back and say, just like Griffin, you have no lag because we've got the impulse cap. Okay. And I don't disagree that is probably helping things a great deal, but it's also a vital piece of gameplay. So let's tinker with it a little bit. All right. Let's tinker with it. I don't want this to be the final answer.
Let me ask you this question.
I mean, or
If you
maybe
had to
I'm
choose-
wrong. Maybe I need to sit down. And maybe that's what Griffin was getting ready to ask. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was finishing a thought. Do you guys as a community, and we'll throw up a poll. Let's just throw, hey, Tarpy, do you have mod access in Twitch? You do, right? Throw up a poll. We'll do 5 minutes. Is the community fine leaving the impulse cap at 275 now that we have seen not only public squads making it so that players can play, even that run that I just now did with Canine Tooth and Iron Chef, that was the most well-behaved arena run I've probably played in 4 to 6 weeks. Okay? So maybe, and by the way, retrieving, I agree with you. Capping impulse was never an answer. It was supposed to be a test. I agree. But it is working, and it's working well. Public arenas is working well. The arena squad worked well. Do we count our lucky stars and leave it be? That's what Griffin's wanting to ask, right? Leave it be.
No. Well, the counter to your poll, I would suggest, is as follows. Which would you rather have leave arenas in order for it to survive? Impulse, i.e. keep an impulse cap, or cube, i.e. get rid of the cube? Because I think it's going to come down to one's got to go.
I agree. So what would you prefer to allow arenas to function smoothly? Ban the cube or keep the impulse cap? Are those the correct options?
Yeah, cap the impulse or ban the cube, one or the other. And overwhelmingly, people are saying get rid of the cube in chat. So I'm interested to see what happens here.
All right, well, the poll is up. 5 minutes, and I would like to see this. I'm not letting anybody buy any extra votes. This will be straight up. Who are you watching? There's 335 people in the live studio audience right now. Let's see what you say. All right? And right now, banning the cube is a 90 to 10% winner. All right?
Number one with absolutely right.
Yeah, ban the cube is winning at now 83% of the vote. We're going to let that continue to run for a couple minutes. And by the way, this is not suggesting that Scopely's going to or not going to. I just want to know, do I keep barking up this tree for impulse? Because I have been, but maybe the community is saying, listen, DJs, for the first time in 2 months, it's working. Let us get our arena currency so we can start finally earning some stuff out of the arena store. And let's just leave well enough alone. At the end of the day, the whole purpose of this feature is to pay us rewards. If the game is allowing you to earn those rewards today, that is already miles ahead of what it's been for the last 8 weeks. Okay, truthfully. Now, Trash Keeper says banning the cube is not a fix nor an answer. Well, neither was the impulse cap. Okay?
But you have to understand you can't hold on to that because they have apparently decided that is in fact the case, to the point now where they're testing other things with other features. You cannot sleep on this thing with these solo wave defenses and this elimination of this cutting beam. And, that was just oh, by the way, this is what we've done. So, I mean, they're honestly trying.
Do you feel like people heavily relied on the cutting beam in arenas?
No, but I think that Scopely is looking for ways to eliminate different components of the cube to see if it might work in arenas, and so they're trying it on the waves. That makes perfect sense to me.
Okay,
they're both taking you into this iteration server that doesn't really exist. They both are eliminating something that's an out of the box feature of the game that was added, completely sideways, side loaded into the game. So let's see where it takes us. But I agree with everybody on the poll. I would much rather completely get rid of that cube than continue with this impulse ban. I still fear that you have 12 ships operating within this one service, and we're trying to get click, 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 click happen so many dozens of times a second. I think that's really what's going on here.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, that is something that we're going to have to see. We've got about 2 minutes left on the poll, and we are still in very much beyond landslide territory. With over 100 votes in, you're at 82 to 18%, and I'll show that up on screen when we get closer to the end times. If you're in chat, please go vote. This is an opportunity right here for you to make your voices heard to Scopely. As Dragon Keeper is saying, listen, man, they listen to you. I don't know if they do all that. I get to have good conversations. All right. But but I don't know that and I think they are very, very clear that banning or that the impulse cap was never what I wanted. And I think they're afraid to break it again. Okay, if I'm just being straight up honest, I feel like they're afraid to break it again. They finally got back to a good spot. So I wonder if they're going to have the courage to go back in and try to mess with it again now that it is playable. All right. Now, Retrieving says, how is no parity a good spot? Well, it's functional. Let's put it that way, Retrieving. I didn't say that it was competitive or that it was fair, but it's technical. It's technically a success. Which, by the way, gives credence to what we always said. Impulse was the problem. All right. Hey, community, pat yourselves on the back. You were right. It was Impulse. But Impulse is so boogered in this game that they removed it with no end in sight, because this may be a much bigger problem than we think that it is. I mean, we know that they're working on backbone, technological structure, core architecture. Call it STFC 2.0 if you want. All right, that's what they're working on. And by the way, Guru, you say Impulse isn't the problem, it's a symptom. I agree. All right, I agree with that. The vote is final, Griffin. 83% of the people say next test needs to be ban the cube. All right.
There you go.
And put the Impulse back into play. And I think that is a legitimate next test. All right. I think that's a legitimate next test to see if there is a way that we can remove one Jenga piece here and still maintain a somewhat balanced, technologically successful iteration of arenas. All right. Lexel says, if you ban the cube, I will not play arena. You know what? A lot of people feel the same way about Impulse. I mean, honestly, Impulse makes it so that smaller players have an opportunity to play. I mean, that's a thing. Lexel uses his cube for PvP. Listen, a lot of people do. A ton of people do. I get that. But, and by the way, like it was with Impulse, this is not a suggestion and a permanent fix. I want it to be the next test so that we can see if it was Impulse that's breaking it or if it's something more specific to the cube. Which, by the way,
I think
has had this same problem for 3 years now, outside of arenas. Go ahead, Tarpy.
I was going to say, I think people are scared of the next test because for every single thing that Scopely has changed, people are like, oh, this is going to be permanent forever. They're keeping the impulse cap permanently forever.
Well,
so
they haven't communicated
they've
otherwise.
literally never said that. Yeah. Like, they've never said one way or the other that it's permanent. So we've known them to change things without telling us. So why would we also assume that they haven't?
I mean, the blog post that
us?
says the impulse cap is here to stay is basically saying that it's permanent. I mean, I don't know that I can actually get behind them saying, oh, well, this is still temporary. I mean, the blog post specifically said, impulse cap is here to stay.
It's not a mystery to anybody.
It doesn't feel like a mystery.
It's science, and it's programming, and it's IT, it's server side, and it's always been that way.
Yeah.
So
Lexel says it will stay and it's fine. Lexel, with all due respect, man, it's advantageous to you that the impulse cap is gone. Because impulse was the only way a player was going to be able to compete against you. To be fair.
So that's stuck. That is stuck thinking. You are stuck on this point, which is not accurate.
Dude.
There are things that can't be done to level the playing field that have not even been developed or implemented yet. Given that you cannot change the simple thing, you got to find other ways to adjust to make it fair. That they can do.
Based on our experience within this feature, the best chance that a player had against an unbeatable ship is speed. Impulse allows for a degree of skill and strategy to enter the game instead of just the size of the ship, which I am fine with. I am fine with bigger power. I'm fine with bigger ships. I'm fine with people buying those advantages. I'm fine with that. But if I'm going to go up against those players, I would like for there to be something outside of RNG that allows me to try to compete.
What if something was introduced for arenas only, like really making a mantis thing OP, or really making a fortification OP, or something like that to level that playing field?
Neither one of those are OP when you're comparing G5 and G6 ships. Neither one of those are strong enough to level that playing field. I mean,
yet.
Well, as we know it. Okay? As we know it. As the gameplay has been presented to us. And I think that is an important thing for us to consider. I think it's an important thing for Scopely to consider. And by the way, I'm not against them enhancing these abilities inside arenas. And by the way, I don't mean everywhere, but inside arenas. For example, what if there was a research node? Not a prime, but just a research node that costs 1 tritanium, that inside arenas allowed the mantis sting to cap your speed at 200. When you sting somebody, their impulse is capped at 200 for the duration of the sting.
Or 100, or that's exactly the point I made a minute ago. Yes.
They'd need to shorten the sting, but yes.
Given that you cannot change this whole impulse speed thing, what else can you bring into the game? What other solutions can exist in the arena umbrella exclusively to level that playing field? You said, well, you can't make a G5 and a G6. I'm saying, no, you're not thinking big enough. You've got to take something that exists and make it crazy OP it doesn't matter if you're IJ. You're going to feel it if it's used against you.
Sure. And by the way, I am totally fine with something like that. And again, I want to come back and say that my position or my opinion is based on what we have currently seen. All right. What we have seen in gameplay up to this point, how the game functions as of now. Cruzito says, listen, now that you've solved the problem with public squads, and actually, you know what, Cruzito, you might be onto something here. Maybe Lexel, this could be another good test. All right. Cruzito says, listen, now that you've fixed public banding and public squads, what if you went back to 5v5? And by the way, the reason he suggests that is because it was chaos. It was pure, unadulterated chaos. It was impossible to watch everybody. That was one of the biggest complaints when you dropped to 3, is that one whale could actually still have enough time to pick everybody off. But if you went to 5v5, one player is going to be less likely or have less ability to strong arm that particular match. 5v5 would add more chaos. It would add a little bit more chance to sneak under the radar. To be honest with you, hear me out, I would be less fussy, I believe, all right? I would be less fussy with the impulse cap staying in place if I knew that that level 70 wasn't going to pick off every ship that came in. And if you add 4 more ships to that, it's not necessarily going to happen. Durr says the whale, I don't know if that would fix it because the whale just has to guard the group armada in the middle. Yeah, I can see that. So this is where, and I see in the chat, you come up with another ability for the Manta Sting, like a tractor hold. Sting them and they can't impulse for 15 seconds. That would kind of be interesting. I don't know, maybe even 10 seconds. You would have to, that would not be something that you could really, that cannot be something that takes them out of play for very long. All right. That would be an interesting thought, but it would have to be pretty quick. All right. Yeah, like a tractor beam, you sting them and they're stuck for 10 seconds or 12 seconds. Yeah. You know, interesting thought. Okay. All I'm suggesting is it can't stay the same as it is right here and now. The impulse cap cannot stay without giving players another opportunity at gameplay. Speed was their competitive advantage. That was the skill set. That was where strategy lied. You can't.
If they keep the speed cap, they should drop the repair time or give more free repair tokens. Like, that is my white whale for these, because if I can't run away, at least let me send ships back in faster.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Wham suggests adding a couple more group armada locations. I wouldn't want to go crazy with that, but maybe 2 more. But Wham, if you're going to do that, you have to go back to 5v5. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to. You can't just make it so that everybody is just able to see who can grind the fastest and do the armadas the fastest. Then you eliminate the PvP component. You know, so listen, there is some cool ideas here. And my only request right now is to just simply not sit on our hands. I believe that what they accomplished here today, and by the way, today's the first time that it's run. What they have accomplished here is absolutely incredible. The public squads are working much better than I would have ever anticipated. The impulse cap is keeping lag to a minimum. I still want to fix that problem. But if we can't, then what do we do to restore fun and fair and strategic gameplay? Well, like Griffin says, we're going to have to think outside the box now. All right? We're going to have to think outside the box. Tercaspa says, the game crashed on me 3 times in the same match. This is the worst gameplay I've ever actually seen. Unfortunately, it's a completely unrelated issue. But the game crashing is a thing. Game crashing happens all the time. And sadly, you know, if it happened to you during the same match, that is really, really unfortunate. But that is also, like the cube, by the way, not a problem that's isolated to arenas. Other issues that players have reported today is troubles communicating with a public squad and, you know, without having to click on each person as a DM. If they're going to allow, you know, refreshing and searching for public squads, could be kind of cool for you to put in a search function, possibly. That would be an interesting thing. The other thing that I think you're going to run into a little bit is you're going to have to be a little bit more cautious in how you're searching for people with regards to the new banding, because your starter, you're only going to have a plus and minus 4. You're only going to have a plus and minus 4 on that. So Griffin is, 70 or 69? You're 69? So
69, although somehow I did have a 62 in one of my teams, which is really weird.
Well, that can happen if you weren't the starter, right? If you were a joiner and you're an op 69, that means your starter could have been as low as 65, and that means they could have.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It's not a plus minus 4 for the whole thing. It is plus minus 4 from the starter, which, by the way, I'm going to probably argue is still a decent strategy, is spreading out that ops level. Okay. And that's probably still a thing. Yeah. I mean, that's probably still a thing. You probably still have a chance at spreading that power a little bit if you are separating your ops. Now, the thing is that it's going to be much more challenging to do with a public squad and less ability to communicate, so I kind of get that. But that is probably still a strategy to allow some players to work the system a little bit, if you will.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Durr says you could spread it out to the max and still engage teams with ops averages of plus 4 above yours. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, guys, this is not a fix-all for matchmaking. We have said this from week 1. This game's matchmaking is going to suffer similar fates to a lot of other games' matchmaking, in which that most of them are probably going to be okay, some of them are going to be perfect, and there's a few of them that are going to be just downright crap. It's going to happen. It is absolutely going to happen. All right? And there is nothing that Scopely can do. There is nothing that you can do. There's nothing that Ubisoft can do, or Epic Games, or EA Sports, or any of these other gaming giants can't do anything about that when it comes to matchmaking. All right? You want, for example, you guys know I've been playing a little bit of Fortnite. Spectre, BS, totally true. Let me give you an example. The new Battle Pass season chapter, whatever, just started in Fortnite, right? Yeah, I agree with that, Risk Breaker. The banding is only a problem when that person's on the wrong end. Totally agree with you on that one, too. But, for example, I am playing Fortnite with Oliver. All right. A new chapter just started. And by the way, don't even ask me how he finds the time. Okay. I don't even know how he finds the time. But I am level 11 in this new chapter. He is level 87. Okay. 87. Well, guess what? When we play together, I absolutely get crushed because the matchmaking is leaning towards his rank. All right? And by the way, he loves it because everybody that's coming in is like level 50, level 60, level 70. And he's higher ranked than all of them. Now, that could be because of skill. It could also be because of time spent playing in the game, whatever it is. All right? But the matchmaking there is extremely challenging. Durr says you're comparing apples to beef. Not really. I mean, yeah, STFC is not Fortnite. STFC has less than 1 million players. Fortnite has what? Tens of millions? All right, I get it. And if you want to bring up the perspective that his rank is not his style of ship, as in a G6 Epic compared to a G5 Epic, I get that too. STFC has their own problems with that. But the point that I'm making is if you're expecting to go in with a squad at op 60, 62, and 64, you are not going to get matched up against another squad with an op 60, 62, and 64. It is never going to happen. And to expect that is ludicrously naive. It's not going to happen. Period. I mean, go find that kind of matchmaking anywhere else. It doesn't exist. Divine says, try finding a tier 12 scimitar. I don't want a divine. That's why I want my speed back. Because at least speed,
Well, you're not getting it.
At least speed lets me so that I don't have to.
That ship has sailed. Cry baby.
All right. Spectre says STFC needs tighter banding for it to be even remotely plausibly fair in arenas. Create brackets 60 to 62, 63. I'm not even finishing that comment. That is so warped, dude. It will never work. We already have trouble getting players to even play. Now you want to narrow the banding so damn tight that you literally can't find another player to play with? That is not the answer. Not the answer, bro. No, Pikachu. I did not want speed gone permanently. I wanted to test impulse. I wanted to point the finger at the code that was breaking the game. And by the way, we did.
Oh, God.
What?
I just got matched against Cruzito.
Oh, my God. Well, Cam. We got to see Cruzito beat your ass now, too.
No.
All right.
I believe in
It doesn't
Cruzito.
work, remember?
Yeah, no, it totally works. Pull it up. By the way, before we take our first break, and we'll let Griffin show off his match during commercial break, but I do want to let everybody see the T-shirt that I'm wearing today. For those of you in podcast who might not be able to see, maybe Tarpe can grab a screenshot. I'm wearing my It's Not Easy Being Green T-shirt today.
It isn't even being green.
Oh, Daystro says me and
He's trying to
Cruzito
flash us, everyone.
versus Griffin. All right, there you go. We'll see how that goes. All right, we're going to take a very quick break. And mainly over on our Twitch audience, we'll get the whale cam pulled up for Cruzito to smack around on Griffin a little bit. And when we come back, I want to move on to another topic. I mean, obviously, arenas are a hot button tonight because they're going on. But I also want to talk a little bit about solo wave defense and the fact that we got another gift box today with another 300 starts, which is a good thing. And Little Birdie whispers that might end up being a thing for week 3 as well. You guys remember, I was kind of an advocate at the very beginning for even if they did spaced out gift chests, I would be a little less fussy. I still want more, but I was very, very pleased to see a gift chest today. We'll talk more about that on the other side of the break. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. Will return right after these words. Don't go anywhere. Dallas says need cooldowns removed. That will also never happen. That will also never happen. Excuse me. But I would like the cooldown to be removed to one day. I mean, if you had no cooldown, what would you do? Just sit there and keep spamming the button? You just keep spamming the button and have unlimited directives? Because I don't feel like you can do that. Can't really do that. Put up Griffin's cam. He doesn't have it on. He doesn't have it on. Well, Cam. Oh, he's muted, so that means he's trying to whale cam it. Capping ships at the lowest player shipyard.
Oh, man.
Awful idea. Whose idea was that?
You liked it last week when I said it.
Oh, then I misunderstood. That can't work either.
Well, the reason I say that is because I have about as much chance of beating an Ops 60s G5 Epic as I do an Ops 70s G5 Epic who buy all of the PvP content. So
Which is
I
why
have zero chance.
Which is why
of
we
beating
need
a 70s Ops 70 ship.
Listen, you're never going to beat an Ops 70 head-to-head in this game, which is why speed was the way to play. That was why speed was the way to play. I want it back. And,
dude, I've had my Sanctus killed by a 70s D4 before. So a whole lot of it doesn't matter.
Well, I agree. All right, but banning shipyards, that's not going to work. And by the way, they've even proven that they don't even have that tech. We've actually called for that kind of tech before. Like in PvP events, they don't have the tech to do that. We've asked for that kind of scoring and that kind of tech before. They don't have it. So what
They
good?
said they don't have other tech and they pull it out of their pocket.
Do what?
They said they haven't had other tech before, and then they just appear with that tech several months later.
Well, yeah, it takes months and months and months to build it. But shipyard banding does not fix arena competitive play. They need to fix impulse. They need to fix the architecture to allow the game to actually function with impulse. Here's the thing, Matt Hatter. He says arenas is dead content for him permanently, so the conversation is a moot point. It can't be. It can't be. It can be for you. It can't be for Scopely. They spent so much money developing this tech. And by the way, the tech has a lot of other potential implications. All right, like arenas, cross-server play, instance PvP. There's a whole lot more that's coming that surrounds this tech. All right. But so the tech is great. I'm glad that it's working, but they've got to fix the subtle nuance with it, or this content, like the content that they release in the future that has to do with instant server play. None of it's going to work right if you can't employ the game's simple research buffs. You know? But even then, Andy, you can't do same ops versus same ops unless it's 1v1. Anything that is going to involve any type of match play or algorithm towards matchmaking, you literally can't make it same ops level. There's just not enough population. You can't do that population in a game this size. If this was a game, and I'm going to keep comparing to Fortnite because I have been. If this was a game like Fortnite, where you can legitimately get on and play single matches, solo matches, and in the span of 30 seconds find 100 players that you can play with, then fine. Fortnite has the population to do that. This game doesn't. We don't have the population. And not only that, but we also are stuck on this weird 8-hour thing that some people can't even get in and play with. So that's a challenging thing as well. Benny Hill says, all I wanted was the Vindicator, and I got it from the last event store. Good. I'm glad. There's other things in that store. There's artifacts. I love artifacts. I do love me some artifacts. 777 says, DJs, why is it only one day? Yeah, that's a damn good question. They say it's because they're trying to shuffle everybody into one play window to ensure the maximum potential matches for arena. In their mind, the broader you make it, the more you dilute the player pool at that given time, and the less likely it is that you find a good match. You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, if you've got 20 people crammed inside this little can versus 20 people crammed inside of a lake, then the chances of bumping into one another are better inside the can. That, to me, mathematically makes sense, but they're artificially limiting the number of players. I say, why do you only want 20 players to bump into each other when we could have 10,000 players bump into each other? I think one day a week is potentially fine, but it needs to be a longer period of time. 12 hours, 16 hours, even potentially 24 hours, which they're scared to death of doing. All right? Polish Prince says, God forbid we have a life. Well, that's the thing, right? I think that they're worried. I think they're worried that the broader they make the time zone, the fewer people who will be on at the same time, thus creating a problem for matchmaking. Now, Guru says, rotate the day of the week, for God's sake. I don't disagree with that. Absolutely don't disagree with that. All right. Yowzer says do 2 4-hour blocks. That was actually on the table at one time. I actually voted against that, Yowzers. Do you guys not remember flash events and how complicated that was? People hated that. That was a conversation that we did have at one point, and I actually voted on that down. Whatever you do has got to be a time. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be one block. So even if it was 12 hours, it would be better. Do it 12 hours on a rotating day. You know?
Something like that.
Just make it better. Just make it better. I still want it to be 24 hours. Still want it to be 24 hours. J-Boo says it's annoying that it clashes with Mining Monday. Oh, dear Lord. Seriously, bro.
Wow.
Seriously, bro.
Oh, that's awful.
Seriously, bro.
Well, yeah, that match went great, by the way. Cruzeiro and I tied. Nobody won, nobody lost. It was perfect.
BS, I want to see it. There is absolutely no way that you tied. You did not tie. Oh, I see here. Cruzeiro beat your ass. Okay. Here, just in case anybody needed positive evidence that Cruzeiro just...
My best ship got stuck in warp for 4 minutes.
Oh, I'm sure it did. Yeah, his ship got stuck in warp for 4 minutes. There you go. In the graphics room, everybody, at 10:56 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, there you go.
Is that our Destros?
Yeah, beat him like a rented mule. All right, I get that.
That's our Destros and Cruzeiro, both.
Destros, Cruzeiro, and Lobot. They're all members of our community. Shout out Lobot. What's going on, buddy? Now, this is cool, by the way. I want to point this out right here. I want to point this out. This is an amazing side effect of these public squads, okay? And I do not want this to go unnoticed. As a matter of fact, this here today honestly deserves heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps of praise. Okay?
I agree.
We can talk about the things that need improvement. We can talk about the things that we still want to work on, and I'm fine doing that. But this match right here is everything I want out of arenas. This right here is 100% what I want out of arenas. We have 6 members of our community that joined up and played in this. Griffin, Grungandola, and Maple Butter, all 3 members of our community. Cruzeiro, Destros, and Lobot, all 3 members of our community that got out, formed a squad. Obviously, it was a little bit of RNG, them getting matched up together, all right? But that is true community gameplay right here.
Yeah.
Okay? True community gameplay. And by the way, J-Boo, this is where I will fundamentally disagree. You say the 70 is a clear winner. Disagree. Because Griffin had the opportunity. He had the chance to defeat Cruzeiro heads up. I don't know if he did, but I want you to look at the power. Okay?
Yeah, it's right there.
You're right there. Griffin had the chance. Maybe not straight up head-to-head with no tools, but with a fort, with some Mantis Sting, with some Cerritos, maybe some cloaking. J-Boo said he lost by 1,000 points. Irrelevant.
My ship got stuck. Nobody was listening. My ship got stuck.
Ship got stuck.
And you can't cloak an arena.
Okay, fine. It's still irrelevant. We saw how quickly an alliance got 2 groups off in a match earlier tonight. Once that happens, you're done. And if Griffin did actually get stuck in warp for 4 minutes, then it's no wonder they jumped out to an early lead because he wasn't there to check Cruzeiro. All right. So Dallas says that's an AFK. Go to the next one. I would love to see one where it actually worked. All right. Cruzeiro says, Griffin, did you use your fleet commander?
Yeah, I saw that comment. Thanks for reading it. I really appreciate both of you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
So listen. In this battle, Griffin had the power and the potential to beat Cruzeiro. He did.
I certainly did. And that matchmaking was great. The fact that I'm matching immediately with people and getting into an arena is great. The fact that generally speaking, there's not a lot of errors compared to the last time I played arenas, that is great. This is a big win week. There's nothing really not to like once you accept the fact that they got to slow down the ships to keep the clicks per second down. That's just all there is to it.
Yeah. Which is an unfortunate illness of this game to not be able to keep up with 6 ships and be able to track where they are in a system. Oh, yes, it is.
12 ships.
Dude.
From literally around the northern hemisphere, all at the same time.
Dude.
All synced within a millisecond. Give me a break.
Dude.
What?
I just can't. I can't get behind that. There are much larger games who do this flawlessly. All right. And again, I'm not expecting Scopely to be epic. All right. But you know what? Like, their technological capabilities aren't miles and miles apart. That would be like referring to Epic as a first world gaming company and Scopely is a third world gaming company. That's not the case. Okay?
No,
they
but
can fix this.
You fail to
they
consider
have the
in your
resources to
equation
fix
that
this.
This game was never designed to do what it's doing. And here we are.
I get that, but they've got the resources to fix it. And somebody had to have known 2-3 years ago that we were going to hit this point. The fact that, and this is a totally different conversation, one that I really don't want to get into tonight, but the fact that they waited until the game literally cannot function anymore is a leadership failure. Okay? And we can have this philosophical debate another day, but the fact that the game is at this point right now is a leadership failure.
That's an armchair quarterback because you're looking from the outside in. You have no idea what Backbone did or did not go into improving the infrastructure in the last 3 years. You see the result. Obviously, we're limited here to this feature that you want desperately to have, which is maximum impulse in a fishbowl of 12 ships from across the world playing. And I understand that, yes, in a perfect world, that would work out great. But we can't simply assume that people were asleep at the wheel 2 to 3 years ago because the impulse isn't working in this particular feature today. That's not fair. That's conjecture.
It might be conjecture, but do you not think that somebody along the way should have been planning for future expansion of this game?
It's unfair for you to assume that they have not.
Okay. That is fair.
Am I arguing that it's great today? No, but you cannot make that point. That is a bridge too far.
That's fair.
Does it suck that the impulse is handicapped? Yes, but we can't say, oh yeah, well they should have, anyway.
Okay, and that's fair. Then, if they did prepare for the future, then it wasn't enough.
Agreed.
They were wrong. They missed the mark.
With this feature in particular, yes, because of obviously to everybody, the taxation of this feature on their backbone was far above and beyond what they had anticipated. That I will agree with.
All right. Well, like I said, conversation for another day. And honestly, I feel like the community would probably love to have this conversation. And by the way, it wouldn't be a bash session. Okay. I'm not sitting here. Listen, I know it probably doesn't sound like it, but I am very, very happy with the progress we got today. Extremely happy with the progress that we see right here and now with public squads. Odysseus says, good night, Debbie Downers. And I'm not trying to be. I think that there's problems, but again,
I'm not being Debbie Downer.
It's me. I'm the Debbie Downer. But I do want to say that today is a huge, huge milestone. Huge milestone in the right direction for this feature and for other features in the game. Like the fact that this public squads thing is working as well as it is and not adding to lag is an absolutely massive win. And I credit everybody.
On community, with focus on community and just the fact here on stream and watching the whale cam when it did and did not work, granted, being able to play against people within our community that I've never been able to play with before in in any iteration. I mean, that's part of what is really so compelling about arenas is it does bring community together. And so why not tune in next week to see what additional enhancements might come, because this week is a home run for me.
This week is, I would agree with that. This week, home run. Okay. I do agree with that. Just real quick, do you feel like my lighting is darker today? I feel like my lighting
No,
is
it's
darker.
actually better. It's better. You have a nice contrast with your deep blue behind you. The front of your face is a little bit not as bright as usual, but it's actually better because you're usually washed out too much. This is great.
Okay. I look darker than you do. You look bright and shiny.
Well, I did reset some lighting settings on mine, and I fixed it up a little bit. But you look marvelous. My favorite part is obviously your t-shirt.
See, that's too much, isn't it? Woo! Not enough. All right, we'll go about right there. Anyway. All right. Listen, one other thing that I want to chat a little bit about tonight, which was solo wave defense, and I don't even remember exactly where I wanted to go with this. I was happy about the gift that came out. So again, really, I know was one thing that I wanted to do. Listen, we do give Scopely a lot of grief about a lot of things that they do wrong. And I feel like the last 48 hours has been full of wins. I want to call out and point out the International Women's Celebration Month gift chest that came out. Absolutely home run. Amazing. And it wasn't even, like, I don't know why they did two different chests. The first one, I'm not sure why there was a second chest. The second chest was absolutely better. The second chest was, it feels like that would have been the plan. I don't want to. Durr says it was a nice amount of transporter patterns. I mean, yeah, but I thought it was really nice. Tarpy,
So,
you're better qualified to comment on this subject. I thought it was great.
I thought it was better than selling packs.
Yes.
Like last year, all they did was sell packs.
Yes.
And this year, unprompted, here, have some officer shards of various levels of officers.
Yes.
And a full unlock of an officer that has pretty crappy sourcing.
Yes.
So much better than here, have $100 packs of officers.
Yes.
Just infinitely better.
I hate you so much right now because I can't even speak.
Me?
No.
Or Griffin?
Griffin.
Don't worry, he's drinking piss water. It's
Yeah,
fine.
that's right. All right. So who was it? Dallas asked. Wham wants to know who was it. It was Gigi. The original Gigi. Well, there was 6 or 7 officers in there, if I'm not mistaken. 6 or 7.
There were
women.
4?
Huh?
I think it was 4 in the first one. 3.
Oh.
It was McKinnon and
No, the first one had Mackinnon. And now, so that's the one you're referring to was as the first one or the second one? Mackinnon.
yeah, because I got that one several hours earlier.
Yeah, Mackinnon was the first one. Now, me personally, Mackinnon is not an officer I use. It would
Not anymore.
No, Mackinnon is not an officer I would have used. I would have found little to no use out of that. However, the second one that came later was clearly one that had a little bit more preparation or a little bit more thought in it. It had a lot more officer. It had more variety. It even had new stuff. That's right. There was the new Section 31 Giorgio, I think, had 5 shards. All right, which is not, a small number of shards. But then it had a full unlock of Strange New Worlds or Discovery, GG rather. And then there were like 3 or 4 other officers in there. Janeway was in there.
Yeah, it was a good deal.
Torah was in there. It was actually incredible. It was really, really good. I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth because there were 2 gift chests, and one can only speculate as to why that was. If you look at the announcement regarding that, it basically, let's see if I can find this. It looks like there was just can't find the announcement now. They did make an announcement, right?
Yeah.
I think it was in game.
Oh, was it in game? Either way, thank you. Here we go. 5 Section 131, 5 Section 31 Giorgio, 34 Empress Giorgio, Terran Empire Giorgio. There you go.
Yep.
And 100 of Disco Giorgio, which is incredible. That's a great, great gift. All right. J Boo says, did everyone complain at the first gift, so they brought out a second one and said it was always planned? They actually didn't say anything to me about it. But I do wonder why there was a second one. And honestly, I wasn't on earlier in the day. If Mackinnon would have been the gift chest, then I probably would not have felt as warm and fuzzy about that. I don't think. But when I logged in, both of them were there.
I was going to say, I think it was a not ARC gift chest, and then here's the ARC one as well.
That makes sense.
Like
Recursion said it was too quick to be a reaction.
Make sense to me.
Yeah. Recursion agrees with you, saying it's too quick to be a reaction. Cal DeVille says maybe they were technically limited in how many items they can put in a gift chest. That could be it. Could have been because the second gift chest had a full unlock, which goes to what Cal DeVille. Yeah, but it was a smaller number of shards.
But Mackinnon got a full unlock in that one.
Yeah, but she was an uncommon. It was like, yeah, it's like 20 shards.
Yeah. Still.
It could have been something related to that. And I certainly don't want to speculate at the generosity. Let me just suffice to say, Tarpey hit the nail on the head 10 minutes ago when she said, last year we celebrated International Women's Month by selling packs. And if I'm not mistaken, it was kind of what we had used to joke about with the Black Friday specials, in which they really aren't that good. You know what I'm saying? They're really not. They weren't. Last year's packs were not that great. So the fact that they came out this year and swung it out of the park, I thought was a really, really nice thing. And again, I don't necessarily want to come out and be, very, all praise Scopely here tonight. But again, it's been a very good 48 hours for them. I think they did a very, very good thing. Organato said one was for International Women's Day. The other one was for Interdimensional Women's Day. That could totally be it.
Oh.
Yeah. Listen, narratively, I'm fine with something like that. All I simply want to say is for those at Scopely who were involved in the decision-making process for the all-encompassing gift this year for International Women's Month, very well done. That deserves a round of applause. You guys did a great job. You guys did a great job.
I'm wearing the Janeway shirt, by the way.
There you go. There's the Janeway. Keep your shirt tucked in. All right. Go down with the ship and never abandon a member of your crew. Very, very good. It's a good shirt. I like that shirt. I didn't know you bought that shirt.
I literally cried getting to talk to Kate Mulgrew for a minute, getting her autograph.
Oh, she is so powerful. Dude.
Oh, she was so nice. And the eye contact and the caring in her time spent with everybody, not just everybody, was phenomenal. What an amazing, amazing woman. She's my space mom growing up. I was a teenager for Voyager, and I told her that because I didn't have a really good relationship with parents at that point in time at all. It was just me, basically. And getting to tell her that the way she played that character with these philosophies, you got to wake up every day. You got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. You got to survive.
Yeah.
Or you got to, ram your ship into the Krenim ship and just kill everything. Those are your two choices.
She really was amazing.
It was really special. She was just so sweet, so kind, so nice, and so endearing. she is a national treasure. That
She
Kate
truly
Mulgrew.
is. I'll tell you this, and this is unfortunate that I will not be able to share this with you guys, but she did an evening show on the ship, and like I said, we were given, again, super huge thanks to ECP and Paramount and everybody involved. They gave us a lot of permission and exclusivity this year. But one thing that we were not allowed to share with you guys were the shows, like the evening shows. They want to maintain some exclusivity to the cruise, which I totally get. Kate Mulgrew did a show on Saturday night, and there was not a dry eye in the house. She actually did 2 shows. There was not a dry eye in the house. She is a woman who commands attention and elicits emotion. And it is sad to me that I can't share it with you, but I did record one of them, Griffin, and I need to send it to you so you can listen to it.
Yeah, we were busy running around breaking stuff down. I was not able to attend that show.
Yeah, we both missed it. Shout out to Barebutt Al, who went and set up our recording equipment, and it sounds pretty good. We were able to get that. It was an emotional roller coaster, that show. Beck told me she watched that show and she was weeping like a child. Kate Mulgrew is just absolutely incredible. If you think she was powerful in the captain's chair, she was absolutely still as powerful to the second power, squared. All right, she is absolutely phenomenal as Kate Mulgrew, and it was super incredible to get to meet her and see her. It was very, very nice. So, anywho, what's going on, Wraith Monster? How are you?
My week almost as much as Brandon Braga agreeing with me that the Air Peril is really a 3-part episodic series.
Yeah, is that up yet? We did post that one, right?
Yeah.
I actually have some other content that I've put together. I need to get some cover cards from you, and we've still got like 4 more hours.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I've still got like 4 more hours of stuff to put up. The community was giving me grief on Thursday. What video were we going to have to wait a year for this year? Listen, everything that Griffin had is up. All right, this time it's me. I have 4 more hours of shows to put up, and I have not yet had the time to do that. So I am still working on it, and I will get it up as best I can as time permits. But we've got a lot going on over the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to try to get it up for you very, very quickly. But yeah, it was just great time. I don't know how many of you guys have already, just ones in chat, if you've gotten booked for next year. Tickets are on sale, by the way, today to the public. I'm pretty sure that went on sale today. Am I wrong in that, Tarpy? Star Trek.
No, I don't think so.
The Cruise is officially online and available for sale, ladies and gentlemen. Visit StarTrekTheCruise.com for a once-in-a-lifetime, absolutely incredible experience. This coming year, celebrating 60 years, the 60th anniversary of the original series, and our headlining captain this year is going to be William Shatner. He is going to be there. Almost as exciting, Doug Jones will be back this year, and he is one of my favorites. Doug Jones is going to be on the ship. That is going to be very, very exciting. Walter Koenig is going to be on the ship. Very, very exciting. Just such a as a matter of fact, the list is already up. Here we go. Frakes is going to be back. John Delancey, Marina Sirtis, Terry Farrell is going to be back, which is incredible. That's going to be a lot of fun. Bob Picardo is always there. John Billingsley is going to be back. We saw him last year. Sonequa Martin Green is going to be back. We also cruised with her for Star Trek The Cruise 7. Doug Jones, Todd Stashwick is going to be there, which is absolutely incredible. Very, very exciting. Very, very exciting stuff. So hope that you guys are able to join. And if you think you might be able to, visit StarTrekTheCruise.com, where tickets are available on sale right now. There is no promo code. There's nothing there. So if you're going through and you're checking out then maybe if there's a comments or a notes field, just put something in, for Talking Trek or something like that if you want to do something like that. But there is no promo code. There's nothing like that right now. So just hop in. Most important thing is get yourself on the ship. All right. It'll be an absolutely amazingly fun time. And we'll be back with you again next year as well. So it'll be a lot of fun. Master
It was
Yodi.
life-changing to hang out with everybody. I really, really loved it. And making new friends and old friends, DJs, and meeting people face-to-face for the first time.
Yeah, it really was. Benny Hill's Ghost was an absolute pleasure to be there with.
No, he was not.
Yes,
I should have threw him off the ship the first day I saw that traitor.
I'm
still
great.
down 1.3 quadrillion.
Yeah, you're down
resources.
1.3 quadrillion.
You're fine.
It was so nice to meet him. Also, my own alliance mate, Dirty Bird Bill, he was there, and that was absolutely incredible. I've played with him for years, literally, and I've never really met him or spoken to him, and he was on this cruise, and we got to spend several moments together, and that was really, really nice. Of course, getting together again with Spectre and Tarpey and Strider was amazing. Thumbelina and Barebutt Al are just always ambassadors for us on that cruise. They work almost as hard as Griffin and I do.
They're the glue that keeps us together. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
Half of the content you see would never be available if it were not for Thumbelina and Barebutt Al.
Oh, dude, they go around. They're ambassadors for the show. They go around. They try to get people to come on the show, and it was just absolutely incredible. Tarpey got Dr. Aaron's first book of space signed for me because as much time as I spent with Dr. Aaron, I didn't have time to be in line with the merch and all that stuff. So Tarpey took care of that for us. It was great. Major Samo was so much fun. She was
and the Samo Famo.
The Samo Famo was a delight. All right, like that was incredible. Mama and Papa Samo ended up going on the ship. It was just incredible.
My only regret is that you and I were not invited to apparently the private nuptials that must have taken place, as far as we know.
Listen, Major Samo did in fact get married on the ship. Okay.
Yeah.
I know nothing else other than those particular details. I was not invited. It was a closed door ceremony. We have no idea who it was. It was completely locked down. And
I tried to sneak in with the cameras. They kicked me out.
Yeah.
I was dressed as a waiter, and they knew that I was
didn't work.
obviously not supposed to be there.
Didn't work. You know what? I will joke. There was one or two things as we get ready to wrap up here because I know it's getting late. There was one or two things that were interesting denials of service. We had so much access, and yet still there were a few things we weren't allowed to do. I got scolded for trying to recruit Connor Trenier to come on our podcast. I got scolded for that.
Oh, you did?
I did. And I got scolded by Mary Wiseman's publicist. I got scolded
for what?
For taking video of her at a wine tasting. It was a closed ticketed event. So like there wasn't supposed to be like public access to it. And I went in there I was shooting a little bit of B-roll to have her interacting with people, and I was told to please exit. There was absolutely no photo, no videography of that event. So I was asked to leave.
Wow. I didn't realize that you were busted not once but twice. You didn't tell me that.
I got busted twice. Listen, to be perfectly honest with you, Trash Keeper, I don't know if that was as much Mary Wiseman, because by the way, she was hilarious and funny and cute, and she was a delight to chat to. I did get to talk to her for like 60 seconds one day. I don't know if it was that as much as it was a celebrity on video consuming alcohol. I kind of halfway wonder if that might have been more of the issue. But I don't know what the issue it was. I don't know what the issue was, but I was, and it may have just been like a rules thing. Like maybe she doesn't care. Maybe it wasn't about the alcohol. It's just, hey, no video, closed door event. I don't know, but there was that. So yeah, I got scolded twice, which was fun. I mean, that
I will
wasn't
be out
fun.
in
But
Hollywood next week. I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna swing by and have dinner with Tim.
probably the biggest highlight of the week was actually being invited to the home of Tim Russ, which was absolutely incredible. All right. And by the way, I hope that you do get to go and have dinner with Tim Russ. But like next time you go, you need to make sure I got enough time to plan because like I'll go with you. We were both invited, sir. You don't get to just suck up the whole invitation. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah.
Fine.
I might be a little bit jelly having dinner with
we'll
Tuvok.
See.
All right.
Taking that to Ocean Prime, get another one of the seafood platters. Good Lord.
No. Caledon says, yo, can I ask one more question about solo arenas before you wrap? Sure.
Ooh.
If the question is
waves.
Well, he said solo arenas, and we did talk about that a little bit earlier. To be perfectly honest with you, Caledon, as much as an advocate for solo gameplay as I am, I would probably love it.
He says waves.
Okay, he does say waves. Okay. Solo wave defense. What is your question? By the way, are you guys enjoying that?
I think
I'm enjoying it. I
it.
love it. I love it.
matters.
Hey, what's up, Matters? How you doing, bud? Yeah, I'm very much enjoying that.
Yeah.
I think so. This can be a thing for a different day, but a lot of Ops 60 people and 61 and 62 who don't have G6 ships are having some problems potentially with the G6 waves, and it's a very interesting. People are very much on one side or the other, but it is
Ooh.
possible to do those waves with G5 epics if you plan properly. And maybe you're not supposed to be able to do them, but maybe they're saying, hey, go to G6, or hey, go up in G6 and get a better ship. There was a lot of conversation earlier, to put it mildly.
Oh, yeah, you would ask me about that at the end of the show at 11:30 at night. Okay.
Yeah, this is why I said maybe different day.
I'm going to address it
Why don't we
shortly.
save that for Thursday?
No, because Thursday we've got teaching planned. I'm going to give you my opinion. It will not be popular. Stewie and I had a very spirited debate about this today in Dev Chat. And here is my opinion. And by the way, I wrote out, Stewie and I had a very long conversation about it. For the purposes of the solo milestone, I argue to Live Ops that it should be separated and should be the G4 event should be Ops 45 through 52. The G5 event should be 53 through 62. And the G6 event should be Ops 63 plus. For the solo milestone, I am completely fine with the reward structure and the challenging level of the hostiles. I love the way that solo wave defense is designed. But with the SMS, which is typically engagement driven, it's not labeled heroic. It is not, this is an event that should be encouraging participation and not discouraging participation. So I would like to see the SMS just be more forgiving and more participation driven and more engagement driven in an SMS. Okay? Stewie further argued that the event is forcing him to use limited directives on an event with a target that will fundamentally, economically pay him less than if he were to punch down. The event should be designed so he can finish it. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. Scopely's response to this discussion was not all events are intended to be completable by all players, which this is where Stewie and I hit a crossroads, because you know what? I have argued about that in the past. I agree with Scopely that not every event should be a gimme for completion. An Ops 60 or 61 can absolutely do 1 or 2 levels of wave. I understand that the 3rd level of wave would probably be pretty challenging. All right. Retrieving says that's never been a thing for SMS. The trivial thing the trivial little note retrieving that you can hang your hat on is that it doesn't say heroic. They actually employ this a lot in solo milestones, but they're almost always a heroic-based spend, a Kobayashi Maru at the top, but you can always, well, not always. We fought for this. We fought for always being able to get some participation, getting a milestone, getting 2 milestones, right? Syndicate comes to mind. I think if Scopely wanted this to be that style of event, then it would have needed more milestones, higher milestones, make it a heroic, and call it a day. The fact that they didn't, circles me back. Hang on, Matters. The fact that this was a normal SMS and the primary SMS that is encouraging adoption of the new feature makes me simply adopt the strategy of the same thing that I've been arguing with them about directives. Why limit participation in your new, beautiful, shiny thing? You should be wanting players to be excited about playing. You should want players to be fully engaged. You should want players to be addicted to your brand new, shiny feature. You should want players to be playing a ton of them. Why limit engagement? So I'm on both sides of this aisle, to be perfectly honest with you. Scopely says that they don't want it to be completely obtainable, super easy, and I understand that. But at the same time, I do think that the next generation of Gap should not have started until that generation ship can be built. And so for that reason, I do believe that the solo milestone in its current form should be rebracketed to 45 through 52, 53 through 62, and 63 plus. That's very
logical.
That is
That's
my
well
long
thought
answer.
What
I did think a lot about it. Well, this is the same feedback I gave last week, in all fairness. Okay? This was the same feedback I gave last week, and we saw no progress this week, which makes me feel like we probably won't see progress in week 3, to be perfectly blunt.
For what it's worth, it's actually kind of worse for some players. And I say worse in that I am not complaining for me. Last week, they only had alpha, beta, gamma for at least my ops in G6, which is waves 1 through 3. And this week, they have delta and epsilon as well. So,
you know what? Okay. See, I haven't logged into the game. That I'm fine with, guys.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm fine with that. Last week we saw alpha, beta, gamma, 3 waves. Okay. We saw 3 waves last week. Even then, I would kind of not fundamentally have a problem with you being able to complete 2 of those 3 waves. You know what I'm saying? But again, I come back to the mental piece. You're wanting to encourage players to play, not beat them up and discourage them or make them feel bad about playing. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, I agree, Schwag. Listen, even for me with all of my boosts, I can barely finish the 5 waves. Jules, as a matter of fact, I failed the first time. Jules Verne got me over the hump. I was able to complete 5 waves of the G6 one with some of the tips that he gave on the show. When was that? Thursday night? Great teaching, by the way. Great teaching. You need to go back and watch the Thursday show if you're struggling with these waves. Okay? They are brilliantly designed. I love the way they're designed. And Cruzito loves the way they're designed. And nothing ever makes him happy. All right?
That's true. Except for beating me at the freaking arenas.
Okay? These are very, very well designed. And the fact that they are a challenge is a good thing. Okay? That is a good thing. But
I
still like
Sorry.
the idea of players not being beat down by an SMS. Now, if this week there's 5 levels, I'm fine with you getting 3 out of 5, to be perfectly blunt. Sorry. Last week there was only 3. I feel like last week would have been the bar, right? Last week is the free to play. This week is almost the heroic, because they've now introduced a little bit of shred into the game. So now they're saying, hey, listen, those last 2 levels, you're probably going to need some shred. But the baseline is 3 waves. Me personally, no, I do not think that everybody should be handed all 5 waves. If it was, the feature would be boring. And there wouldn't be any thought, and there wouldn't be any learning, and no strategy, and the feature would be dead. I did not even know that there were 5 events this week, Tarpy. I thought it was still the same 3.
Yeah.
And I would like for players to be able to finish the 3. I feel like 3 is a fair number out of 5.
Yeah, so they have 3 separate stages, and it's actually kind of cool art in the background because it's 2 separate pictures. But I think where it gets normal-ish, it's weird because I don't know how to complain about it while not sounding whiny. The SLB for early G6 also has points for defeating wave 4 and defeating wave 5, which for the up 60 to up 63 players, it is possible. And I say up 63 maybe without building a ship. It's possible, but you need all of the favors and or a bunch of buffs that you can't by definition have on all 3 ships. So it's hard to be in that SLB with ops 64, 66, 68, 70.
How wide's the bracket?
That can just, yeah, it's,
is it the whole decade?
Let me look.
Mhm.
No, I see 63 and 64 in mine. So maybe it is Frank. And that's, yeah, then that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably okay then. You know,
And that's the first bracket they've shrank like that. That's not an RSLB.
Yeah. So listen, there was some thought that went into how these things were designed. And I think we've seen a lot worse. This is not probably one that's going to give me a ton of heartburn about. And actually, I'm probably going to have to go in to dev chat now that I realize there was 5 SMSs instead of 3 SMSs, and I probably need to clarify because again, I am fine with partial progression through 5 waves. You know what I'm saying?
It's probably 2 ops, Broken Wolf.
So I appreciate the question. Thank you very much for the question about solo waves. I don't even remember who asked that, but brilliant question. Caledon, thank you for that question, and I appreciate the education to me, chat, and thank you guys for hearing me out on my position. I think Scopely is treading a thin line here, Tarpy, but actually I think it's a line that it's okay for them to tread. I have been a huge advocate for partial rewards for everybody, with the most engaged or the Kobayashi Maru, the higher milestones, being more challenging and or spend related. I think they've taken that advice with Syndicate. I think Syndicate has gotten a rework. The math is different than it used to be. People are now able to get 2 and 3 milestones of Syndicate without spending. I think that's huge.
Yeah.
Yep.
The waves, you're supposed to, well, if you are G5 or G6 and you can't finish the entirety of your wave, you're supposed to go down a wave and not take very much time to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a whole lot of buffs. It's not a whole lot of time. Obviously, lower G4 players can't do that. But in theory, you get more loot by doing all of the last wave than wave 3 of the one for your generation.
Yeah.
So you're not supposed, like, until you keep trying the one at your generation, you're kind of supposed to breeze through it and then struggle for a little bit and then do well. So, like, I actually kind of like that design too. where like they intentionally built in time savings.
Harpy, are you saying what we should be doing as a G5 player if we can't finish all 5 waves is to drop down to the G4 and just do those 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Outside of this
That's what I'm
SMS.
supposed to do as a G6 player.
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
G5.
Won't I get more loot? Hold on. I get more loot
If I'm able to do 4 out of 5 on the level on my generation, but not the 5th, isn't that more loot than if I
Did I
drop
not
the-
say 3? I said 3, Putz. Don't get angry. You're listening to or
Yeah,
you're
Putz.
thinking a different wave than what I just said.
Here, take a look. I'm going to look. We're going to show you guys right now what the loop is. And by the way, we did all this. We did all this on Thursday. Okay, so go back and listen to that show. But right here on your screen, right here's the number. Okay, G4 solos, 3 waves. If you complete all 3, you get paid 1,800 credits. All right, 1,800 credits. You get paid 1,600 credits for completing wave 3 of the G5. Okay, so if you cannot clear wave 4, then you punch down. If you cannot clear wave 4 of the G5 solo, you punch down and complete the G4. You'll actually make 200 more credits. Okay? By the way, that is also dependent on what your priority is. Is your priority the new solo access credits? Then there's your answer. However, if the original Section 31 tokens are more important to you, then clearing wave 3 pays 1,700 of the G5, but only 1,200 on the G4. Same for the Mirror Universe credits. So again, depends on your priority. You have to choose. Okay? Now, if you're looking at G6 compared to G5, if you can finish a G5, you're getting 3,700 solo credits. Okay? Well, you only get 3,100 credits for clearing wave 4 in the G6 solo. So if you die, if you can clear 4 rounds, in other words, if you can't clear the entire G6 solo, punch down. If you can't clear, and by the way, that's across the board, because if you can't clear the G6 solo, then you're going to get 3,700 solo tokens, 4,500 Section 31 tokens, and 2,300 mirror tokens out of the G5. Okay? So you absolutely should be punching down here. So it does depend, Putz. Are you comparing G5 and G4? Well, then it's clearing wave 3. But if you're comparing G6 and G5, it's clearing the whole damn thing. If you can't do it, punch down.
Do one today at your generation just for the SMSs. If you can clear 2 of them or 3 of them or 4 of them, whatever, get those rewards, but then punch down if you can't.
That's right. Exactly right.
Like,
that's what Stewie was arguing, that he was being forced into the higher one where he can't earn as many rewards. So my argument is going to be, are the rewards in the SMS worth you earning 1,000 less solo tokens? Because I'm going to argue that they are. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to argue that the solo milestone rewards are actually worth more than the 1,000 or 1,200 Section 31 tokens that you're losing. But you do have a choice.
But they might not be worth the buffs.
Maybe so, because you might end up using a Lorca's Fist, you might use a Max Fort, you might use Cerritos, you might end up doing all the things. All right? Spectre says the rewards
for Krenim.
The rewards in the solo milestone are premium dust. So, I mean, that's kind of a valuable currency, is it not? I would gladly trade 1,000 Section 31 credits for premium dust.
You get the 31 credits as well.
You also get 31 credit. Well, then what's anybody complaining about?
Access codes and premium dust. Like it's literally just bonus loot.
Well, yeah. I get
People are mad that they can't do content the day that it comes out, and that's not meant for them. Like, if you can do the content, it's supposed to be easy. Like, this is not supposed to be wickedly challenging if your ships are at a place meant for that content. or your favors are at a place meant for that content.
You know,
So,
Cruzito and Canine Tooth and Jonathan Ingram, they actually wish that there were level 70 through 75 hostile waves. That way they could get the same
that's what I was saying
challenge.
too.
Yeah.
I wish they would have had 5. Like, look at all of those systems. There's what, 30 systems for every 10
Yeah,
ops?
but then they would have had to label it
wish-
G7.
Well, no, they could have done 60 and 65.
Oh.
No. They could have done 60 and 65 and then have the hostiles go to 70 and 71 like they already do in FKR space.
They could have done something like that, and I think that they should have. But here's the deal, Retrieving. One thing I'm going to disagree with you on. He said, call a spade a spade. The SMSs should be labeled heroic. I'm going to disagree.
No, because there's no pay.
No.
There's no pay involved. So
You can get there without them. Like, you can get... I could do it. I just haven't taken the time to do it.
I don't know you think an op 60 can you think an op 60 can clear a G6 solo all the way through wave 5? I don't know about that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Some can.
Okay.
Yeah,
if you have the buffs and you have all the favors. Yeah. And you actually apparently need the old wave favors that a lot of us gave up on a few weeks, months, years ago.
Oops.
All right. Well, a lot of people in the chat saying
I gave up on the mitigation one.
A lot of people in the chat saying that they absolutely can be done. So this is where we come back then, Count DeVille, and we got to start digging into the toolbox. He says, Count DeVille says, Op 60, level 3 on Apex Shred favors, 2 G5 epics, 1 maxed, 1 at tier 10. Guess I'm not going to be able to do it. It sounds like you would be able to do it, but we're going to have to dig deep, man. We're going to need a max fort. We're going to need some Lorca's Fist. We're going to need some really, really smart crewing. We're going to need some Cerritos. Like, we're going to have to get in all those things. Because, by the way, I'm going to tell you, Count DeVille, going into Thursday, I didn't think I could clear it either. But after watching Jules' presentation, I actually was able to do it. Barely, but I was able to do it. And that is not heroic, Retrieving. That is absolutely not heroic. That is using the tools of this game. Heroic is by definition requiring spend to be able to do it. This is not that.
Thank you.
Let's not change or move the goalpost. You guys hate when we move the when Scopely moves the goalpost. We are not moving the goalpost. That's why my definition on event stores hasn't changed in 4 years. Okay? The definition of heroic is requires a pack purchase to complete. This does not.
So, Jules posted a screenshot.
Hang on 1 second. I'm fighting with Retrieving, so hang on a second. No, I did not say the definition of an SMS is participation only. I said my definition of an SMS that is surrounding the new bright and shiny feature, in my mind, would be to encourage more participation, not beat down players. Okay, that's me. My personal choice in designing this. Me personally, I probably would have created the same one that we had last week, the 3 milestone one, but I would created a totally different one, and honestly probably would have made it heroic, but I would have made it so heroic that it was clearly heroic, as in you had to complete level 5 wave 5 times. Like, I would have, you guys call me crazy, I would have designed an actual heroic that would have required the purchase of directives. And it would have been a secondary event. Me personally, I do not want to discourage people. I don't want to beat them down. I want to challenge them. I want to encourage them. I want to help Count DeVille tweak it around so that he can do it. But I don't want him to do what he just said here a second ago, which was, guess this content's not for me. I don't like that. I want him to be excited about trying to hit the next level. Go ahead, Tarpy.
You have ads for 3 minutes, by the way. Nicely timed.
Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done.
For me, then. I think that they did it to drive people to try and hit the ops appropriate or generation appropriate waves. I think that, it came out last week. People have had a week to play waves. They've had a week to learn where the hostiles are coming from and which ones are coming from where. They've had a week to get some of those Apex Shred favors and anything else that might help them in solo waves. And they're trying to drive people who are comfortable punching down to, okay, now you've had a week to work on it. See how well you do. We're going to give you 3 starts. Use one of them to punch up and use the other 2 however you please. And I think it's fantastic. I think it's great the way that it launched, and I like the bracketing. I did 60 to, I'm fine with 60 to 70 or 61 to 70. I think it's a good way to get people to at least try to punch up again once, even if they don't clear them all, so be it. But at least you get something for trying. You get a little extra for trying. And if you still can't beat them all, okay, keep doing the G5 way or the G4 if you're a low G5 and you can't beat the G5s. I think it's fantastic because I think it's keeping people from just parking in a punching down routine.
So yeah, it gets them out of their bubble,
bit,
which is great.
They need to do better.
I'm going to get ready to wrap this up because we're out of time. But let me come back and say that discovering that the SMS is 5 levels doesn't change my original assertion that even week 1 should have been designed 45 through 52, 53 through 62, and 63 plus. Listen, Ops 50 is not G6, guys. Ops 50 is G5. Okay? I'm sorry, that's not correct.
Ops 50 is G4.
Ops 50, yeah, it's down 1. Sorry, I said that backwards. But yes, like Ops 60, that's G5. Okay? And even though, and this was my argument in dev chat, and again, it was flawed because I didn't know there were 5 events, but still, I still feel like my argument contains merit. When you go into G6 content, your G6 content presumes that a player has the G6 tools. And an Ops 61 does not have G6 tools yet. Technically, even a 62 doesn't. Doesn't the G6 uncommon start at 63? Technically.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, retrieving, I can see your point, 63. I still maintain that. I feel like we might be talking about 2 different issues. With the SMS and generational gaps, I still agree with my original statement that when you're dealing with generational content that is generationally targeted, you have to be able to have the generational tools. So I still agree that the SMSs should have been changed. However, I am not going to agree. I don't know what that noise is. I am not going to agree that they should not have added the 4th and 5th waves to this SMS. I actually love the fact that they did that. Call it a stretch goal. Mr. Tiger did not write this arc, but stretch goals are his pride and joy. He loves stretch goals. All right. We are not in a worse place in this game because we've had stretch goals. All right. That is what I want you to consider wave 4 and wave 5. If you're struggling, it's a stretch goal. All right.
It's week 2.
It is week 2. It's very early. It's very, very early. And by the way, some of you are a lot closer than you think. Count DeVille, I feel like you're probably capable of doing it. All right. Go back and check out Jules' presentation. I bet you can do it. All right. I bet you can do it. But
Riskbreaker said he did.
A lot of people said they did. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people said that they could do it. And by the way, you're using a lot of tools. Okay. I presume, I didn't try this. I am presuming that cloaking is available in this feature. Okay. And Lorca's Fist.
Gotta have time for it.
People forget Lorca's Fist, man. I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. Huge difference. And if you don't have enough juice to do a max fort today, I don't know.
Mwah.
Thanks, Polish Prince.
You're the best. Mwah. Give me hugs and kisses.
I don't know that you can't use Lorca's Fist? What are you talking about? You can't?
Huh?
I thought I did. Pretty sure I did. It's gone. What are you talking about? It ain't gone.
Did you move your Lorca?
Is there a UI glitch? Even Strider says it's hidden sometimes. It's 50-50. Really?
Why
You
didn't
need to
tell
be
me
in the
that?
battle.
Is there a try? Okay,
need to be
so
in the
I'm
battle
seeing this. I'm seeing that Lexel says it's a display bug. Try to trigger Battle Bridge mode. Try to trigger Battle Bridge, and it might pop up there for you. If you go into Battle View, then it might come back. So try just. I did not know that, but try that. Trigger your Battle Bridge mode, and that should hopefully get you Lorca's Fist back. Because I'm pretty sure I used mine, but I played on PC, so my screen is different.
That is, in fact, the fix. Yes.
Yeah, my screen is different. So give it a shot. Well, I'll be honest with you too, Retrieving. I play on Battle Bridge mode a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not consciously remembering this, but I would not be surprised if I don't engage Battle. I guarantee I do, because on other waves, I engage Battle Bridge mode so I can see more landscape. You know? I do Battle Bridge mode on almost any type of wave, arena, anything where I need to see more landscape. So, yeah, I've got Battle Bridge mode on all the time. If you don't use that button, you're doing it wrong. I agree, Chris. You got to be able to see. Got to be able to see.
He's got to be able to find it.
Yeah. Got to be able to find the button in order to be able to use it. All right. Great conversation. Love these conversations tonight, guys. Thank you so much. I probably really want to go. I'm overdue for me to go to bed, but I really appreciate the conversations. Great conversations. And I'm going to wrap it with this, Griffin, and I'll ask if you agree. The fact that we're having these kinds of conversations about this feature, and even about public squads with arenas, I feel like those are overall positive moves. I think Scopely has done a good job this week, or at least with their releases this week. Junior says some players don't know what Battle Bridge is. You need to show them. So Battle Bridge, inside the game, for those of you in podcasts, I'm not going to be able to show you. But Battle Bridge mode is down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. When you're in a system view, it is right next to your shield button. Okay? Right, like catty corner down. It looks like the red alert symbol. This one
looks like the Reebok logo.
Yeah.
This the Reebok.
Here,
it hides all the stuff.
This little button. Why is my... Oh, that's what was beeping. My Stream Deck is disconnected. All right, let me try that. Might have to actually use a mouse and keyboard. That would be terrible. So down underneath your Exos, caddy corner down right from your shield button, right next to your bookmarks, okay, is a little like a red alert symbol. All right, that's actually what it is. It's red alert. It stands for Battle Bridge. Oh yeah, I've broken my Stream Deck somehow. It's not responding.
Well, you push the button and half the interface hides so you can see the whole screen when you're battling, which is great.
Yeah, it gets away. It removes like all of your filler overflow, like your UI stuff.
So I will answer your question that you asked me 3 minutes ago before you got double squirreled by your Stream Deck and your Battle Bridge question.
Yikes. Oop, there it goes.
And the answer to your question is yes. The thing that's been happening this last week or since the introduction of this arc is that a lot of the analytics at the fundamental level have returned. And we are now talking again about the stuff that we always used to talk about and we love talking about, which is essential fundamental strategy, different ways of accomplishing the same thing and which is better, and just getting back to the mechanics of the game and exploring new mechanics and even a few old ones in new ways. And that's what makes this community great, this podcast great, and that's one of the great things about the game. So hats off to Scopely for giving us something to think about and talk about, which has been a long time coming. A lot of iterations of repeat content in, different lipstick and dresses and attire.
I agree.
This is some new stuff that gets us to really start thinking about how to play better and strategically, which is awesome.
Yeah, it really is. When we're talking about public squads and we're talking about solo wave defense, both of those have strategic opportunities in them right now, although I think we're dangerously close to losing a strategic opportunity inside arenas. But still, the milestone that they accomplished today tech-wise with public squads, absolutely momentous, absolutely huge for this game company. And solo wave defense, I told you last month, I was excited about this feature. It continues to excite me. I have very much enjoyed this feature. I have enjoyed this feature as much as I've wanted to enjoy arenas and wasn't able to. So are we getting tournaments this month? I would presume so. I haven't been told that they're not on the calendar, but I haven't requested a specific day. All right. So TJ says public arenas are POS. No, they're not. I mean, they can be. They could be, TJ, but they gave us all the opportunity to still squad up. I mean, you can search for people. And in fairness, Retrieving, I didn't feel a lot of lag tonight. And I only played once, but I didn't see a lot of lag in mine. I still see speed problems and cube problems. All right, but I didn't see a lot of problem with the other thing. If you click join and it's full already, well, I mean, you're showing up to the entire continent. You're showing up to the entire continent. Your leader's going to have to be quick about booting people out. You're going to have to be quick about booting people out. All right, that's it. Any other last-second questions, or can we wrap up?
That's the wrap.
What's your next show schedule?
Oops, sorry, wrong button. There we go. Oops, wrong button. There we go. My show schedule. So I am probably going to stream tomorrow night, just laid back, chill, Twitch only, to try to get back to regular schedule. I'm trying to get back to regular schedule. That's why I came out tonight to make up yesterday's. So we'll just do a normal Twitch tomorrow. We'll do a pod on Thursday. And I plan on a Studio B on Saturday and a pod on Sunday. Vic says, did I talk about the VLOX? No, I have not talked about it other than I built it. But I am going to ask Jules and Tarpey to do a G6 rare comparison. Because honestly, if you're Ops 63, it's too late. Like, I feel, because the rep grind is so intense, I feel like you need to start planning for your G6 rare at Ops 60. And I hope I didn't build the wrong one. I mean, I don't have a reason to be unhappy with it, but everyone's told me it was the wrong one, which sucks.
Why, the month Titan?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they say I should build, but I built the VLOX, and everyone's telling me it was the wrong one.
These have been perfectly timed. So Jules's G6 talk was a week before I went to G6.
Yeah.
And I'm like 2 or 3 weeks out from building a G6 rare. So us chatting about it could very much determine which one I build.
Yeah, well, I think it would be a good conversation for any G6 in our community, especially Ops 60 and Ops 61, for you guys to get started planning, because I mean, it requires 300 billion rep. I mean, it's now I get people say there's not a rep grind anymore. There still is. It's certainly easier.
Oh, there still is.
Yeah, it's certainly easier.
Wait until you try to get to 70.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, it's easier than it's ever been. I agree, but still, 300 billion rep, that's still going to take time, guys.
It's rude.
I already did Ice Wolf too.
I mean, the person who said rep grind in the mirror universe is correct. Yeah, but you're still grinding. Okay? I mean, you're still spending time.
I try not to think about it as rep grinding. I try and think about it as saving my lat in speed ups grinding. It helps.
Even if you are fully maximized with your rep grind in the mirror universe at a very high ops level with maxed officers in all the right places, I'll tell you guys, and all of your exocomps popped. If you're trying to build a G6 epic, you need to be at 500 billion.
Yeah.
And you're only getting 5 billion a trip, maybe 6 if you're doing a great job in mirror universe. So you're doing that 100 times.
And I would sooner get run over by a bus. Okay. I mean,
That can be arranged at the
that
next
would
meetup.
be absolutely terrible. I see some people saying, 500 billion law can be done in 3 weeks now. That's all you would do for 3 whole weeks.
I literally fall
can't.
asleep.
I
I
couldn't do it.
often fall asleep trying to do Mirror Universe
Could
rep
not do it.
grinding.
Could
It's
not
I think I
like the
full-bought
most
this.
boring thing.
It is boring. It's so terribly boring. So TJ says, I was able to go from 39 billion and 85 billion to 500 billion triple lock in 3 weeks. I mean, and how many hostiles did you kill during that 3 weeks? 10,000? 15,000? 15,000. Night Diver, I'm with you. Some people work for a living and have lives outside of the game. Well, no, let's not get crazy. Okay?
No. We don't need to go there.
No, I'm just saying I don't have the time or patience to do it. And I agree. That had to have taken dozens of hours. I mean, it had to have taken dozens of hours.
That's a fair comment. It requires an incredible amount of dedication, time, and focus. We can't say things like, "Oh, well, they're just less busy." I mean, we all have time. Time is a construct, you guys.
Well, for
Go
sure.
to work, quit your job, call your mom. Who cares?
This
Who
past
cares?
weekend, I did
It's all
actually
about
spend more
what you
time
wanna do to
grinding.
spend your time.
I actually took my Velox out and ground Gorn with it. And for the first time since Gorn came out, I don't have to worry about volatile ISO matter anymore. I've got like 2 million, which is great. Now I only have to worry about that stupid eviscerator.
Get eviscerated.
Yeah, but how many hostiles do I have killed? Not very many. I have 456,000 hostiles killed. And that was murder.
Where do you see that?
On your player card. Right here. Go to your player card. Scroll down a little bit. Right here. Hostile ships destroyed. But 456,907.
Oh. Oh, here. I'm only at 210,000.
You whale.
What are you killing 500,000 for?
I don't know.
And I've done more damage to other players than you have.
Hal is 1.2 million. Carissa's at 850,000. Divine is saying, wow. Wow, because the number's low, or are you wowing Griffin's number? Because Griffin's is low. Retrieving is at 900,000 at op 61.
650.
Yeah, not me, man. Not me.
210,000. That's it. I did it right. You guys are doing it wrong.
You and me, Griffin.
I just did G5 wrong. It's fine. I can just keep doing G6 wrong.
Lord of Scarin says, I'm at 825,000 at ops 57. I know. I'm terrible. Them's rookie numbers.
The other ironic thing there, DJs, is you have mined 2.5 billion more resources than I have.
I've what? I've mined more resources than you have?
2.5 billion more. I'm at 4.3 billion. You're at 6.8 billion mined. What a poser you are.
I used to mine a lot more. I used to mine a lot more.
2 billion.
Jeef Boo says, I have killed 4 times the players you have. I have, yes. But only have half the power destroyed. That's because I'm a miner hunter, man. No, I'm kidding.
No, Savage Sharkness. I have never bought rep. Those rep packs, when they came and went, I was not spending money on the game. So no, I have not bought rep.
No, I don't. I don't do a ton of miner hunting. I used to. When I was younger in this game, my alliance warred a lot. So there was a lot of surfing around systems and clearing miners. Don't tell my admiral, but that's so boring to me. I can't do it anymore. I just can't.
No.
Some people in my alliance still do it. Captain Bull still does it. I just, like, if I happen upon one, fine. You guys have seen me stop and kill a donut. If I happen upon one, I'll kill it. I'm not going out and moving system by system by system hunting for miners. God, what a terrible existence that is.
Oh, are you kidding me? I'd rather die.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't. I hate doing it. I know, listen, there are players that do it, though. Wham kills me about 6 times a day. Wham kills me on average 5 to 6 times a day.
Oh, Dirty Bird Bill got you. You should have said that in code. Now you're busted.
Benny Hills Ghost says, I hunt bases that way. Gee, you don't say. Hey, what's up, Captain Mark? Wham says, I love hunting. I just don't. That's why I like, coordinated big PvP. Like, that's why I like defending a base in incursions. Like, I like that. I won't raid. I hate raiding. I think it's boring, but I would love to go and just like fight big ships. I do like to do that. That's why I want to love arenas. I'd never make it as a griefer. All right, funny story about that. And then we got to go. What is that server that Rev and I joined ages and ages ago? It was like server 42. This was years ago. I'm pretty sure it was server 42. Isn't that right? When Rev and I joined a server at the same time, it was brand new at the time. We joined, and I decided that I was going to be an undercover griefer. I actually did it for about 3 weeks. I just swept systems. I killed everything, everywhere, regardless. I was that guy. I bought a baby jelly. All right, I spent money on a tiny little level 16 account to get the baby jelly so that I could just go and sweep systems with it. I lasted 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Skywarp says, seems like there's not much you do like about the game. No, I like a lot about the game. I like new and fresh ideas. I like new and fresh mechanics. I don't like being bored.
What happened after 3 weeks?
I got bored.
What?
Of just miner hunting constantly? Yeah, I got bored. I'm such a whale.
Oh, you weren't cracking bases also?
Well, yeah, but I hate raiding, so I would crack the base and I would just leave it.
Oh my god. We gotta go. We're out of time.
I know. I don't like boring, mundane things, dude. All right, so I like new, fun things, like solo waves. That's great. Sniper time. Thank you for the 6-month reset. Appreciate it very much. Thank you. All right, Captain Mark. Thank you for the reset. Appreciate you guys. Oh, thank you guys very, very much. Appreciate you. Yeah, griefing ain't easy. That's right, Mac and Beige. Or so you hear. I can support that statement. I've tried to be a griefer. I was a griefer one time on server 15. You remember that, Dirty Bird Bill? You might not. I don't know if we were playing together at that time. It was several years ago. It was back when Nameless was still a thing. Nameless was still an alliance, and Loot still played. I was a griefer then. I was a griefer for probably a good solid 24 hours. But then people found out who I was. So I had to stop. I'm going to bed. Thank you guys all very much. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Great show tonight. Great conversations. And honestly, decent job to Scopa today. Nice job. Let's keep up the good work. Let's keep up the progression. Let's keep working on arenas and making those things back to what they were supposed to be all along. But great steps today on public squads that probably could not have gone as much better than it did. So really wonderful. Good job on that. I would like to invite you guys all to visit our website, TalkingTrekSTFC.com. That's TalkingTrekSTFC.com, where you can find links over to the YouTube channel where we've posted dozens of hours of content from Star Trek The Cruise. Listen, even if you're not all about the cruise, like I saw some people saying, this just doesn't interest me about the cruise content, and I get that. But you know what else is there? Star Trek content from the cast, interviews with the cast. We played trivia with Tuvok. All right, yeah. We played trivia with Tim Russ, and that was a lot of fun.
Tuvok,
he is brilliant. I mean, that dude is brilliant. All right. So listen, even if you don't like the cruise stuff, you're still getting inside access to the Star Trek universe. I would encourage you. There's panels there. There's science. Dr. Aaron gave a great science talk, which was so cool. Listen, you don't even have to like Star Trek to watch that video. All right, that was a great video. So go and check out some of that stuff. Get those view counts up there for me. I would appreciate it very much. That is over at the YouTube channel. You can also find some of our cruise merchandise on our merch store. Go visit TalkingTrekSTFC.com and get over to the merch store. And do please, if you can, find it in the goodness of your heart to contribute financially with the Patreon program. I'd really appreciate that as well. Thank you guys also very, very much for your generous support of our channel, our properties, our technology, and our continued improvements to Talking Trek as we travel out throughout the United States and the world. We appreciate your support to Talking Trek, a registered trademark and recorded in front of a live studio audience for distribution across podcast platforms everywhere. I'm your friendly neighborhood cat person, UltimatDJz.
I'm Griffin.
And we're saying meow for now. Love you, minute, everybody. Good night.